RJ Productions presents New York State Wrestling Championships from the War Memorial in Syracuse, New York. Hello, wrestling fans, and what has become a tradition in New York State, 182 wrestlers descend upon the Onondaga County War Memorial to determine who's number one in New York State. It's amateur sports undoubtedly at its best. Hi, I'm Dale Drypolcher, and John Janiak, you've been here before. What's it like? This has got to be the most important event in their young athletic careers.
Yeah, absolutely. New York State Wrestling Championships, one of the best tournaments in the country. A lot of college coaches looking at these guys that win as well as lose where they go to school, Division I, Division II. A lot of pressure on these guys to do the best they can tonight.
You mentioned the pressure. What about that? What's going through their minds right now as they get set for these championship matches?
Yeah, every wrestler has their own thing that they do, a ritual to get ready before a match. Some will do what they've been doing all year long. Some will break from that, and it'll cost them the match. A lot of pressure. It's up for grabs. You don't know which wrestler is going to do the best tonight.
There's really a lot to be determined here. There's sectional championships as well as individual championships, and of course the most outstanding wrestler award. We've got a lot of action. We'll be right back with a 91-pound bout right after this.
There's an awful lot of competition out there, so getting people to notice you can be tough. But if you think using smokeless tobacco is the way to do it, you'd better think twice, because smokeless tobacco can give you cancer. Cancer of the tongue, the gums, the mouth. You could end up facing life without a cheek or a jaw. And just imagine how tough that would be.
We're back at the Onondaga County War Memorial in Syracuse for the New York State Wrestling Championships. If you're interested in buying a new wrestling mat, please call Coach's Corner. We offer the new Spieth Anderson Troslin mat in both 1 1/4 and 2-inch thicknesses. The mat is lightweight for easy moving and will not shrink. We also offer the Ensolite mat, which is the standard of the industry in either 1-inch, 1.2, or 1.5-inch thicknesses. Our wrestling mats are of the highest quality in the industry and guaranteed. Give Sonny Greenlaw a call at Coach's Corner by dialing 1-800-336-MATS or contact Coach's Corner. Tonight's championship wrestling finals is sponsored in part by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Locals 1922 and 1430 are thanks for enabling us to bring this outstanding event to the sports fans of New York State. And John, we're right underway. 91 pounds, Anthony Alberti from Section 1 against David Bracero from Section 11. 91 pounds, you've got 28 wrestlers. We started with 182. It's down to just 2 guys. You get a good look at Alberti from Section 1, actually out of Henry Hudson High School in that area. And there's his opponent, David Bracero, from Section 11 out of Newfield High School, Brookhaven. This is hometown, just underway. This is the earliest weight class, as we said, 91 pounds. Alberti in the Columbia blue on the right-hand side, Bracero in the navy blue from Section 11, Suffolk County on the shirt. No score yet, just underway.
Not a lot of action. They're feeling each other out right now.
We talked at the open about the pressure, is that a lot of it is not to make the big mistake, right? Not to make that one thing, because you know these guys are good to get here, and that if you wrestle the way you're capable of, you think you can beat them, but you don't want to make that big mistake.
That's right, Dale. If this was a dual meet match, these guys would be going, full tilt, guns out. Right now, they don't want to make the big mistake. There's a lot of pressure. As we alluded to earlier, college coaches here looking to see who wins, and it's a scholarship, full boat to prospective school.
Well, right now, first points on the board by Alberti out of Section 1. Got a takedown, and so Bracero will be down, facing away from us.
Again, that's just over a minute, 7 seconds into the match. Surprising. 91, you figure they go right out shooting. No takedown for a minute, 7 seconds.
2-0, just scored by Alberti. Bracero trying to get out from the bottom, makes a move, gets hand control, but they're out of bounds. They'll be back in the middle.
Dale, every year we see these guys with 30. When we first started doing this, probably high 20 matches win-wise. Now it's high 30s. Pretty soon we'll get high 40s.
They spend a lot of time wrestling.
Amazing amount of time.
You'll see 2 referees out there. Fred Brown is the official referee with Mike Giagos as his assistant. And when you get a wider shot, you'll see them. And there are 2 officials for this final bout just to make sure that they see everything. Right now, they're seeing a 2-0 lead by Alberti, and he is on top of David Bracero from Section 11.
Now, Birdie on top doesn't seem to be going for any type of pinning combination, just hand control righty.
Oh, he lost a point.
And he did lose it by not really working on top.
As you said, the man on top is required to work for a pin. Got a little sloppy or a little lazy, and he lost a point right there, and that's going to end first period with the score. Anthony Alberti up by the score of 2-1, virtue of a takedown. Bracero escaped. About 10 seconds left to go in that first period. Position now, you're going to see the end of that as
Bracero coming up to his base.
That was
Nothing
the escape.
fancy, just brought the arm up underneath.
Back to live action, and Bracero has got a little bit of an advantage on Alberti. Now he just got a ride, got that leg up.
Alberti tried turning in, didn't get anything. Critical from the bottom position is that hand control. If you don't get it, you're going to end up with nothing more times than not. Here he goes. He tries to switch, doesn't get anything. A lot of movement.
Yeah, a lot. I was going to say he's moving, doing a series of things. Now he's got the ankle.
We see a lot of this international style now, grabbing that ankle and riding up. And in this case, he does a great job with it. Gets a 2-point reversal.
So Alberti up 4-1 now on that nice-looking reversal, as you said. Looked a little international there as he got that ankle, but he ran a nice series, John Janiak. He tried the switch, then turned back in. A lot of movement out of Alberti.
Wrestling. And we're going to see it most of the time when he grabbed the ankle like that. It's from the top for a tilt position. Alberti did a fine job from the bottom, used it to his advantage. Now he's got a nice tilt going, but he's in
a little
trouble.
Sloppy, yes. He's going to give up 2 on a reversal.
There's that hand control. We saw that in the first period. He didn't have it on top. He lost it again. Cost him another 2 points.
He made the move, lost the hand control, cost him 2 points. Score is now 4-3 in an interesting bout, 91 pounds. Second period, Anthony Alberti from Section 1 against David Bracero out of Section 11,
Bracero's
Newfield.
got that leg in and hand control. He just lost it. He could be in trouble.
Bracero on the bottom in the dark blue.
He is in trouble, loses 2 points.
2 points, going to make it 6-3 now. Bracero on the bottom. Not only in position, but also in points, as you see that little scoring card to the right there, 6-3.
Very nice job of now moving on top. He lifted his opponent, Bracero, a little bit up, scooted the leg in. Nice leg ride. Didn't get any points for it, though.
Good control by Alberti, good tight waist, and really dominating.
I'm surprised. He's thrown about 15 moves already, and all of them different. You know, most wrestlers, they have 2 or 3 pet moves they go to. You know, if one doesn't work, they go to the next and then back to the first one. This kid has thrown everything at it that he's known.
Can become predictable, but not so for Alberti as he, again, controls David Bracero, and now he's trying to stack him up. Yeah, scoop, get the leg up, try to elevate him. Now he throws a half.
Nice half. He's got some points here.
He's got the leg hook. You see it right there. Great shot.
And
spreads him out.
Him right to the
that's going to be a pin.
I don't know if they ran out of time.
That's right. Whoa, I didn't hear the slap. I heard the whistle, and it was 3 points, though, 9-3, John.
With all the fans cheering, it was tough to hear that buzzer. We're going to take a good look here.
Watch the leg.
Bertie's going to lift the leg, scoop in. Beautiful scoop. Now he's going to start arching and work for the half. Gets that half, and he's really pushing up front. If the camera keeps going, we're going to see him arch it to the ceiling. Perfect.
Really split the
nice
legs.
Scoop right.
And it's going to come right back into a familiar-looking position as Alberti on top of Bracero, and there he is, the same move. He just picks that leg up and then splits it with his leg and elevates him. And
yeah, the good wrestlers always have that certain move they can call on high percentage of the time, and Alberti's shown us on top with that scoop ride. Produce a lot of points for him.
Coming into this, Alberti undefeated, 37-0. Bracero 33-2-1. But last year, Alberti won at 91 last year in the States, so he's got a lot of experience.
And experience in the state meet really means a lot. The percentage, if you're playing percentage. There's upsets, of course, but when you've been there and you've won, you have that confidence that no one can beat you.
So we have the returning state champ doing, I suppose, as would be expected, on top by 6. 127 left in this bout, 91 pounds. Anthony Alberti out of Henry Hudson High School, Section 1, and David Bracero out of Newfield in Brookhaven, New York. And there is your last year's champ riding Anthony Alberti.
He seems to be just taking his time right now, back like he was in the first period, just riding, trying to take advantage of his lead, not make the big mistake now.
And looking at the right, you talk about the big mistake. I think Bracero in that first period, it took a little while for him to get going. It looked like he was going to stay even, but Alberti has really asserted himself and really riding and breaking down. Right there, you can see him breaking down Bracero. Down to under a minute, 52 seconds actually in this state championship bout.
Birdie's still riding. He's more effective from the left side when he's on top. We've seen him throw the scoop ride twice. When he's on the right side, he just doesn't seem to be as effective. Here he is again on the right side. It just seems like he rides when he's out to this side.
Tight waist, trying to
tilt. Now he's back over to the left. He has a 2-on-1 at least. Let's see if he tries that scoop ride. I think we're going to get a stalling top. Yes. That's what I was mentioning, Dale. When he's on the right side, he doesn't look like he's working hard. And Coach can't believe it.
Look when he switched that he was going to try that to get that leg between, but it was too late.
The last minute, we've noticed out to the right side, and that's what the official Fred Brown was looking at.
Well, they can't fault him here. He's got a leg in.
Now he worked up. Doesn't seem to have much control, but he has the upper body torqued over past the 90-degree angle. Counting some points, should have 3.
15 seconds left for Alberti to repeat.
And he does get 3.
As a state champ. Bracero moving, going to get anything, maybe 1 as they go out of bounds or nothing. We'll see.
I don't believe he had control going out of bounds.
Well, that's what the officials are there for. They just briefly look at each other, decide there was no change. So Bracero will be down, and he is down by 9 points as Anthony Alberti looks to repeat as the 91-pound state champion. And he's going to do it. So Anthony Alberti out of Henry Hudson High School in Section 1 repeats at 91 pounds. There's your state champion. Defeating David Bracero out of Section 11. Decidedly 12-3.
So it started out as a very slow match, turned into a barn burner. Great match.
A lot of action. Move up now to 98 pounds. You're going to see Ron Fry out of East Rochester in Section 5, 38-1. A senior, 26 pins so far this season. His opponent, Craig Vitigliano, out of Plain Edge High School in Section 8, Massapequa. He's only a junior, 37-0. And as you look down the resume for these guys, you see a lot of Empire State Games experience, a lot of international experience, and Fry, second in the Empire State Games in Greco-Roman, and Vitigliano, a bronze in the ESG freestyle. So both guys have some experience in the Empire State Games.
That's right, Dale. The good wrestlers through the year will train. And the Empire State Games, super tournament, great organization, and they need that in the summertime to keep their skills well oiled, and so they get into the season and they're not months behind in conditioning or skills.
All right there you saw Vitigliano, who really shot in and got Fry, got both his ankles, took him a couple of seconds. He finally got him out of bounds, but took him down before they went out of bounds for the first 2 points. So Vitigliano on top 2-0, and they're going to tell him to move off. Dave Adams, the official, and his assistant, Dan Scanlon. And we're just underway, 140. Escape right there for Fry out of Section 5.
I'm a little suspect right now. Roy Fry is a wrestler and he likes golf. And somehow the two sports really don't go hand in hand.
Tell me you're not a golf fan.
Well, no, I play golf a lot, but I was a much better wrestler.
As a golfer, you're a good wrestler?
Exactly.
Is that right? Okay.
Same technique. Just put a club in my hand.
Modified baseball grip, no doubt, on the club. Nice shot again by
He's got
Vitigliano.
A great double single leg. Really quick.
It's almost like a replay. He did the same thing the first time he got the takedown. He hasn't gotten it yet.
Inbounds. Doesn't have the control yet.
Dave Adams says nothing yet. Well, he's really hanging on. Fry really fighting after giving up and really getting his legs locked.
I'll tell you, there's a turnaround right there, and I think we're going to have to give him 2 points.
Yes. Nice job by Fry.
Didn't give up this time.
Boy, and he was caught completely unaware for the second time, or at least he couldn't react quickly, and he struggled, and boy, he made 2 points out of that. You got to give Fry a lot of credit out of Section 5. East Rochester, nice job there. Now he will be on top of Vitigliano. out of Plain Edge High School in Massapequa. And Vitigliano, a hard move, really good from the bottom.
He did a great job standing up with a hand control. He's not quite out yet, but it's pretty close. There's a 1 point.
Referee said you're neutral.
He does everything extremely fast.
Yeah, he's got a lot of
real quick.
A lot of quickness. So it's 3-3. Oh, nice shrug by Fry. Nothing happened.
Looked like both guys were going to shrug at the same time. And you have an under overhook for
boy.
They give it up.
This is an exciting match, John. We have seen some in the States where a lot of time is spent feeling each other out, but these guys are going right after each other.
We mentioned the pressure where you have that defensive attitude going into it. We haven't seen it yet. A little bit in the first match, first period, but that was it.
Fry does not get a takedown. Nice attempt to take Vitigliano down. He doesn't get it. And so the first period is going to end with a 3-3 tie. So they are going to give the choice to Vitigliano. He says he'll take bottom. He'll be down, and that will be Fry on top of him. Riding, scores 3-3, lots of action. So far, we have been impressed with the speed of Vitigliano and the...
It's amazing, Dale. You look at Vitigliano's ankles, he's sitting on his ankles again. He stands right up. Doesn't seem to bother him at all.
Now, he did get right up, but Fry took him right back down.
Didn't get the hand control this time.
Ooh, trying to Fry cradle.
Well, it's not quite a cradle. He's got like a front headlock with a leg hook, trying to pull Vitigliano underneath for a pinning combination. Didn't get it, and he's in trouble right now.
Got out in front of Vitigliano. Vitigliano gets an escape. Oh, and he doesn't stay there long, does he?
With a great quick duck under.
He gets an escape, but no takedown. Once again, that speed, John.
Extremely quick on that duck under. That was extremely... I don't know if the camera, it did pick it up. It had to pick it up right here.
There was the move where he tried to pull the head down. And there
now
he was.
He's underneath. He just comes up, snaps right underneath for that.
And he didn't get the takedown, but you see the speed there of Vitigliano. And now we're back to live action. 5-3 the score. 1:17 left, second period. 98-pound bout. Oh.
For that
going to caution him,
single leg.
He beat the whistle that time. He beat the whistle. And that gives Fry a little, could have been caught a third time.
That's right. Maybe that's the problem. He was shooting it. Now, I believe he was on the whistle the last couple times. He's just quick.
He does anticipate.
There's that
nice
duck under, beautiful again. Nothing wrong with that takedown.
7-3, Vitigliano on top of Fry, 98 pounds, and now going for some back points.
Now he's trying to cradle, but he lost it. Now he throws the left leg in. Tries to split scissors with no success.
Aggressive. Coach yelling, go after it. Underhook. Coach yelled under, and he looks like he got it. Got that leg split. Just 30 seconds now and counting in second period.
Not much he's going to do on top with that, except just ride.
He's up by 4, 7-3. Fry not able to do much on the bottom, John, with that leg in.
Not with the leg in. He doesn't want to make a mistake right there.
And Vitigliano really putting himself out. They're going to warn Fry for stalling. Fry is going to be warned as this period is going to come to an end right now. So a warning for Fry and a 7-3 lead for Vitigliano. I may be wrong. I think his coach said to let him up. Put the two hands. We'll see.
We're going to take a look at this duck under. Yes, one more time. Just a pretty move. Did let him up, and the score is now 7-4.
7-4, and Fry has been caught a couple of times by the speed of Vitigliano.
And with that single leg, lightning quick.
Lift it up, they say. Coach is yelling for Vitigliano to take it up, and Fry posts his head.
You know, it's amazing. A lot of times you see that single leg, and the man initiating the move can react to what the wrestler does. Fry doesn't react. He doesn't even know that he's been hit with a single or double leg. Very tough to finish the move out.
He tried to counter that by holding Vitigliano down in his head, but he wasn't able to do it. He just lost the takedown, 9-4. 5-point difference. 1 minute exactly left in this 98-pound bout. And he's arm bar, looked like he was going to bring around. He stops, takes it back, and he's going to give up a point on the bottom. Fry gives up a point for stalling, and he gets one on an escape. 10-4, trade off of 1 point. Vitigliano, only a junior and looking very impressive. Fry, a senior.
Doesn't say how he did last year. Be interesting to see.
Hey, 24 seconds left to go out of bounds. 10-5 the score. Vitigliano out of Section 8 from Plain Edge High School. Up against Roy Fry out of East Rochester in Section 5. And Fry, if he ever had a 5-point move, this is the time to throw it.
Sure, he's running out a little bit of time, 20 seconds left. Doesn't seem to be nice. Tried to around behind, but he didn't have anything. Weak attempt for a double leg.
And that's going to do it. Vitigliano is going to become a state champion at 98 pounds with a 10-5 win over Roy Fry. And Fry is senior, a little upset, but Vitigliano, the state champ out of Long Island. We mentioned as we go in here, by the way, Section 5 was ahead on points, coming in with 169 and a half. That will cost him some points there, but let's move on to 105 pound. There's Dave Hirsch out of Section 1. Clarkstown South High School, West Nyack, 35-0. His opponent, Keith Strachelski, Section 11, Patchogue Medford, and he's a senior. Set to go. Hirsch 35-0, Strachelski 32-0. Colors once again similar. The Columbia blue, the lighter blue is Hirsch. Strachelski, Section 11, dark blue. A lot of movement right away as Hirsch up in the air, fights out, back down, and he goes right after Strachelski. Once again, John, you talk about feeling each other out. These guys are doing it, but they're not afraid to shoot. And Strachelski has his shoelace untied, I think. He may stop that. Hey, good call. Want to make sure that nobody gets an unfair advantage, and Strachelski gets that tied, and they're right back in the center again. These guys look bigger than 105 pounds. They always do when I see these. These guys are unbelievable.
I was just thinking that, Dale. Every year these guys get bigger and bigger. It just you put so much muscle into these little bodies now. I remember when I weighed 105. My God.
Strachelski, in a little bit of trouble as he had one leg out of bounds. No points.
Didn't make a lot of fans happy with that call, but it was a good call. You have to have control inbounds, and that's why the white line around the mat.
That's why they got another official too, and it's Jim Wild is the official with Dave Chardontier. Dana, check that. Chardontier is the second. Right now we're 40 seconds left in this first period, 105 pounds. Lots of action, no scoring. Keith Strachelski out of Patchogue Medford on Long Island, Section 11, and David Hirsch out of Clarkstown South High School in West Nyack. Both guys strong, good on their feet, and have been able to shoot and counter each other. Pretty evenly matched so far, John.
That's right. They're staying upper body, not really committing much. There's that duck to one side. Oh, pretty move.
That's a 5-point move.
Shot in like he was going to have a double leg, hit it with a hip toss. He's got to beat the clock.
No pin.
No pin. He does get 2 back points.
And 3 back points and 2 takedown. That'll be a 5-point move. 5-0 for Dave Hirsch, who had Strachelski in a lot of trouble, John.
But that's great. He shot in to have a single leg. What you shouldn't do is come up around the back, but he made it work for him and hip tossed him inbounds.
And you can see what trouble he had him in, because at this point there were maybe 5 seconds left, John.
That's right. Great camera angle. We can't see with the shadow, but it's very close to time running out or a pin.
So Strachelski with a 5-point move. Now, Hirsch with a 5 point. Strachelski had it scored against him, and he's in a little bit of trouble. He is on top. He's got and he gives up 1. He's down by 6. So Strachelski's got his work cut out for him. Both are seniors. Shot by Hirsch, counter by Strachelski. Nice move. Out of bounds.
But 6 points is a lot of ground to gain.
Well, when you're down by 6, you have to get maybe a little more. You talk about that, you don't want to make the big mistake. Might as well get it out of his system because he already made it.
That's right. He's a little nervous, but he's got to really start shooting here. What got him to the state tournament is what he's got to fall back on now and start shooting those moves that are his pet moves, whether it's a single leg, double leg.
He didn't get to 32-0 on Long Island without being a pretty fair wrestler. Right now, Strachelski, however, as you said, might have to get a little more reckless than he wants, but Hirsch right after him out of Section 1.
Hirsch really tough when he gets in on the legs. Now he's got the leg in and left arm tied up. He should come up with points on this.
He kicked the ankle right out. Hasn't gotten any points yet, but he's very close to getting 2. Just gets him. Boy, Hirsch wrestling very, very well out of Clarkstown South High School. You see the time left. 35 seconds in the second period, and he's already up by 8. And Strachelski there with the 11, the Roman numeral on his back, has not scored yet. It's got to be frustrating, John.
That's right. Well, Hirsch has beat him to the punch every time. It's still a period and 33 seconds left, but boy, I tell you, the way Hirsch has been throwing moves.
Yeah, he hasn't sat back and relied on that 8 points. He gets the head under and trying to control that. He's got the ankle now.
Tying up the ankle, now he's back up on top.
Oh, he's working on the arm, which is bandaged, but he takes up Strachelski to go out of bounds. 11 seconds left, second period. A lot of time left, but Hirsch dominating at this point. There he is. Section 1, 35-0, headed for Cornell. Not much movement. Oh, right there. Roll through, no damage to Strachelski, and that's the way the second period is going to end, as it will remain, I should say, 8-0, and Strachelski takes down. He's got to be down. He's got to get some points.
A whole lot of points to make up in 2 minutes now. This is where it could get real ugly. Take some chances.
Yeah.
He could really end up in trouble. Who knows? Still a lot of time left.
Hirsch, however, has not stopped wrestling or resting. He hasn't looked at that scoreboard, I don't think. At least he's not wrestling like he's 8 points ahead and resting. He's going after it.
Now he's riding tough on top.
Which would seem to me that if you have been successful doing that, you can't look up and say, geez, I don't want to make the big mistake and let him. He's doing just what he should do, and that's ride him hard. It's been a long season for these guys. Switch attempt by Strachelski. Countered. He's going to get 1 now.
Stop moving on the bottom. Came up with a 1 point.
His first point with 1:30 left in the bout. Hirsch countering, shooting.
You see a little bit of strategy change here, though, Dale.
Yeah.
First period, Hirsch was tying up, and now he was staying away for the last 20 seconds. Now he's back in.
He was almost forced into that, John. I think, just what you were talking about. It looked like he was going to change the strategy a little bit, but
he was happy just to stay away and not make that big mistake. did get the 2 points, 10-1.
He did get the takedown, but as we said, he was almost forced into that. He didn't want to be in that position, but he countered it well. He's up by 9. One point, escape, Strachalski. He'll take a little time now, won't he? He'll run a little time off the clock.
I think he'll put a little wheels on his shoes. I'm surprised he shot right back in.
Yeah, he did.
I'm not surprised. Not watching what he did the last 2 periods, but
he's aggressive. He seems to be able to know just waste a little time, but not enough where he's going to really get any kind of trouble. Hey, back up a little bit at the whistle. See the clock in set, down to 25. Right there, a move. Hirsch shoots.
Been very comfortable with that single leg. Knows he's close out of bounds. Not in a hurry to really finish the move.
And he feels if he can control the leg, he's certainly not going to get in a lot of trouble. He could slip and maybe give up a takedown, but nice move there. He does slip down. No problem, as David Hirsch is going to give up nothing on the whistle, and he will score a 10-2 decision over Keith Strachalski. And I thought Hirsch wrestled very, very well, 105-pound state champ. Good sport, David Hirsch. Next, 112 pounds, Juan Carlos Garcia. Terrytown, hometown, Sleepy Hollow High School in Section 1. He's only a junior. 32-2 against Keith Segura out of East Meadow High School in East Meadow, Section 8 on Long Island. He's a senior, 31-4-1. 112-pound New York State Championship bout, and they're getting set to go. Official Norm Thomas, Dave Adams will be his assistant as they are set to go. Garcia in the blue, Segura in the green. Juan Carlos Garcia, a junior. His opponent, Segura, a senior. Oh, Segura in a little bit of trouble as Garcia now gets 2 right there.
Nice first move, Dale. Underhook. Garcia threw an underhook, then into a single leg, or close to a double leg for the 2 points. But this action is so quick, it's tough to keep track of what move is thrown. They change in midair.
That's right.
Can't wait for the heavyweights when it slows down a little bit here.
Garcia chooses to let Segura up, gives up 1 point, goes right back after him.
That same move, did not complete it.
Very confident, obviously, on his feet, John.
Yeah, remember that from last year when he was in the state championships. He was pretty tough on his feet.
You mentioned that. He was second in the states last year at 105. And he likes to play football. He was 112, last year 105. Juan Carlos Garcia.
Well, they grow him mean in Sleepy Hollow.
Section 1, the second in the states, 1989. And Segura, as we said, out of East Meadow, wants to go to Cortland. He's 31-4-1. Lots of times, some of these losses will come on upper weights. They'll go up a couple of weights sometimes, and
that's right, Dale. At the end of the season, they drop down to their optimal wrestling weight, shed all that baby fat.
Move and counter. Move and counter.
A lot of great moves thrown in counters.
Yep. And nothing in that flurry. Segura gets his headgear adjusted.
That happens so much when you have 2 very talented wrestlers out there.
Chairman, pick up your most outstanding wrestler balance at that table.
Lock up. Garcia. Both guys now know what to expect a little bit more. 13 seconds left in the period. Good upper body move.
Great duck under. Brought him to the mat for the 2 points. I thought Garcia was going to throw an upper body throw, but he settled to just Brings Segura down to the mat.
You know, I think the way they've been going in the counters that Segura's been making, he's probably smart to get his points. He maybe could have gotten rolled through himself.
You're right, Dale.
Right there, he's picked up 2.
With
It's
a
4-1.
With a throw, you're not sure who's going to come up on top.
On top in the score is Juan Carlos Garcia, 4-1 out of Section 1. Keith Segura, his opponent, is in a little bit of trouble, up and down.
Boy, that was a great move.
Very
Segura
fast.
shot in, Garcia countered, then reshot in and got the 2 points.
You know, you kind of get the idea that Garcia is relentless, and we're going to get a little injury time. Segura knows. Got hit. While we got a second, I want to let you know the rights to this cable cast have been granted by the New York State Public High School Athletic Association, representing 778 senior high schools across the state and the more than 500,000 boys and girls who participate annually in this sponsored athletic competition. Any rebroadcast or republication of the programming without the written consent of this organization is strictly prohibited. And that out of the way, we're right back to wrestling.
Unfortunately, Segura was not hurt.
At this stage of the game, unless something breaks, you're not really not hurt, I guess.
That's right. We've seen him walk out there where normally you get a wheelchair.
That's right. Tape and cast, and not
That's right.
cast,
You
but
have
lots
to
of
finish.
tape.
The whole season is on the line, and you got to finish it.
Garcia behind, tight waist. Now he's got the arm. Waist control, and they're going to go out of bounds. 6-1 the score. Garcia on top of Keith Segura. Second period underway. 1:24 left in the second period. Stand up, trying to get control of the arms of Garcia. Garcia has to break when he comes down. He does. Oh, he's going to call a lock? No. 1 point escape. So that will give a point to Segura. 6-2.
Garcia wasn't working on top. Segura down below with a great hand control. Took his time, got his 1 point.
Well, there's a shoot and counter again. Really doing a lot of pushing and shoving, looking for an opening.
Unusual for lightweights. 112 pounders, usually just shooting it whenever they want. Now we're getting that tie-up more and more.
Tie-up, little feint, trying to post ahead, trying to shrug him
Garcia
by, drag him by.
Good drag.
He gets a takedown.
Now he's working that arm bar.
Smooth, isn't he?
Very slick, especially for a junior. You know, this type of wrestling you expect a college junior to be showing you, but not a high school junior.
Well, we mentioned he was second in the states last year at 105. He's up to 112 this year, so you expect that he's got some moves, but you're right, he does wrestle older. Perhaps he's only a junior, and he was a second last year, so he's on top now by 8-2.
Out to the side using that. Still doesn't have that good hand control. A lot of movement, Dale, but not a lot of moves being thrown.
And that's the way it's going to end. No moves, no points. At that last flurry, score remains 8-2 in favor of Juan Carlos Garcia. Keith Segura, his opponent from Section 8, has got 6 points to make up in 2 minutes. And he wants top. Segura takes top. Maybe a little unusual. The last period, he's got 6 points to make up, and he's going to be on top.
Not a good position unless you're a great pinner, and it doesn't seem to be from this angle that he was.
He gave up an escape, 9-2 now. He gave up an escape quickly to Garcia. Garcia up in about 8 seconds, and now they're right back where they have been a lot of this bout, on their feet, John.
This is where Juan Garcia is very comfortable. We've seen him with 3 takedowns already.
Nice move by Segura.
The first attempt that he's been in deep, but he didn't finish it off, and the head was not out to the side.
Oh, not a desperation move yet, but close to it. I thought it was going to cost him some points.
Well, great shrug by Garcia. Luckily for Segura, he was close to the out of bounds. No takedown.
Segura down by 7, 9-2, as this 112-pound bout winds down. We're in the last period, 1:10 left. 1:10, and that's a lot of points to make up, especially with the pace that this bout has been going and the way that Garcia has been controlling it. Could be the last chance for Segura to win a state championship. He is a senior. Great crowd here tonight, by the way, John. The whole place is packed. Not many. In fact, I couldn't find a seat in here.
The seat was easy. The parking down here was a little tough.
That's right.
This afternoon.
Nice move, but once again out of bounds. We're well under a minute, 41 seconds, as you can see in the insert. Segura very, very hard pressed to do much against Juan Carlos Garcia in the blue.
It's moving down to crunch time too, Dale. 25 seconds left in the match. He's got a home run move right now. He better throw it.
You know, Garcia's 32-2. I don't know who the two guys that beat him. They might be here somewhere at a different weight, I guess. Boy, that's a...
He must have been mugged. There had to be more than one of them.
Very smooth, takes him up, brings him down easy to the mat, garners 2 more points. 11-2, lets him up, 11-3.
Shooting in on that double leg.
Good takedown artist, and Segura tries to switch, but 2 points at the end is going to give Garcia a 13-3 win. Nice job by Juan Carlos Garcia, New York State champ, and he's only a junior. And he's very, very happy about that. Great job by Garcia.
Take a look at that shot in on a double leg. Garcia lifts him up. Very gently, though. He didn't slam him to the mat, gets a 2-point control. If he had control of the upper body, could have got some back points.
Great job. Moved to 119. Now, Doug Gronke out of Section 2, Burn Hills High School. Scotia is his hometown. He's only a junior. And he's got a very, very tough opponent in Sean Welch out of Section 4, Waverly High School, 39-2. So we have a good matchup at 119. A junior and a senior. Gronke from 2, the junior on the left. Welch on the right out of Waverly, the senior. And Gronke, interestingly enough, has a twin brother we'll see next weight up at 126. And Burn Hills High School turns out a lot of good wrestlers, a lot of big freestyle program in that area. Right now, they both exhibit some good style as they go out of bounds. And you see Gronke's a tall 119-pounder, isn't he?
He is. He definitely has a few inches on Welch. But both are very physical wrestlers we're going to see throughout the match. They really take it to the opponent.
Welch, a football captain out of Section 4 in Waverly and an all-star in football. And right now, as his hands full with Doug Gronke, but no points have been scored. Gronke right there in the maroon, close. Incidentally, the officials for 119, Jack Fioravanti and Joe Rizzo. Fioravanti is the main official. Oh, you see Welch really looked like he hurt his left arm.
Well, not surprising, Dale. It's probably a pinched nerve. He's been stretched out, elongated a little bit too much. And when you have these guys, like I say, they're both very physical. You're going to have that happen quite a bit.
Call him a stinger, is to get that.
Oh, sure.
Get that electric pulse shooting up and down your arm, and they're going to start the injury clock. We'd like to remind you that tonight's championship wrestling finals, sponsored in part by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, locals 1922 and 1430. Our thanks for enabling us to bring this outstanding sporting event to the wrestling fans of New York State. And we do appreciate that. We'll see if we can see what happened to Sean Welch. They're looking at the left arm. As you said, very physical. Gronke and he have been tied up, no points scored, but he did shoot in, and it's the left shoulder, the one that's down, that got hurt. We don't know if it was here, but he did come up after this, favoring it, and we're back.
Gronke back in a familiar position, stretched out underneath, trying to get a single or double leg, comes up with nothing.
No score in this bout. 35 seconds left, first period.
Now Welch wrapping both arms. I think he's going to try some shrug, doesn't get it. Does it again.
Tried it a different way. Went left and then a right. Still didn't come up with anything.
Great reaction by both wrestlers.
You see Gronke's height advantage right there when he stands up. As he stood up, he had that leverage.
That's right. That area with the Burnt Hills High School, like you say, it has a great club out there with some international style wrestling. I think we might see some upper body throws here.
Right there, they were upper body. You're right. Welch looked like he might be in a little bit of trouble. The period's going to end.
That's right. We definitely see some upper body lockups. Now, I don't know if we're going to see a finished throw or not.
We mentioned international rules, that a lot of the freestyle and the Empire State Games and the international type rules a bit different from the normal high school rules, and you get guys who take part in those, and a lot of these guys do, John. You're going to see some of that carryover. Right now, we're starting second period with Gronke on the bottom. He stands up, superior height, but Welch takes the leg and goes out of bounds. Nice counter by Welch.
Sorry, Welch did the right thing, dropped down on the leg, kept control, kind of waltzed out of bounds with it, didn't want to give it up for the 1 point escape.
Switch attempt by Gronke. He gets those long legs out, but waist control by Welch, throws a leg. That controls those guys a little bit, maybe.
Certainly slows them down a little bit. Now he's got another leg in.
Short leg on a long leg, sometimes it's tough to lock it up.
Now he's really arching. He's doing a super job just controlling. Gronke's not going to go anywhere with a double leg ride and Nelson throwing on him. You stand up rather slowly with that type of move on him.
You can see, you're right, John, he's got him stretched out. He's got to keep that head or he'd be up too high and he could lose some points, but he's keeping that head and he's trying to work for, we're going to call potentially dangerous, I'm assuming, or a stalemate.
Wait for the official call, but it is a stalemate.
So you see, he was working for the pin, but it took a little too long and they had a stalemate. But he was yarning, I know. A little false start by Gronke, I think. Nope, official said it was his fault. He'll get him set.
I'm sure Gronke wants to get off the bottom as soon as he can. Doesn't want those legs thrown in again.
Last time he waited, he got into a little bit of trouble.
And he seems to be in trouble again. Welch again with the legs in.
Slows down the pace. Welch got the legs.
It gets interesting here now. Welch on top really was working at half Nelson, but he's got to really open up, get some pinning combinations, or he's going to get called for stalling.
Well, he hoped that when Gronke kind of kicked through there, he might be able to catch him, but he couldn't, and now he's getting up real high, John. But he's really got the head. There's not much Gronke can do.
Head.
Yep.
That's right.
Gronke fights up.
But he really should get out to the side in order to get not called for stalling.
We're going to see another stalemate. And you know, if that's not your style, in other words, if Gronke is not used to that happening, that's got to be frustrating. You see the clock ticking down, and there's some guy on top of you trying to take your legs north and your head south.
Yeah, when you're 36-1, there's not a lot of guys that were sitting on top of controlling them this year. This is a whole new ball game for him.
Whole new experience, and I think
not one he likes.
Right, and how you react to it, it really is important. And right now he stands up.
The thing is, he's got to remember, he's not down by any points. It's 0-0.
That's right, and there's 27 seconds left in the second period. Not a point has been scored. I think, though, he got a little bit of an advantage there on Welch because he almost got up, and Welch was kind of desperate. He went to the crotch and kind of pushed him out of bounds.
And the referees will watch that. If it happens again, they'll call him for stalling or give him the 1 point.
Good move by Gronke, and it always looks like Welch is on the edge of disaster with this. He's got 15 seconds left, as you can see.
But this was the same position we were in all first period. Neither wrestler is in real trouble of losing points or getting points.
Welch is strong, boy. He's got that double on that knee, and he is not letting it up.
The funny thing is he's not working up on the leg, and the official let him sit down there for about 15 seconds.
He's very strong. Sean Welch doing a nice job of taking Doug Gronke and kind of negating any kind of advantage he might have in height or being on his feet as he just kind of rode him out. You get no riding time in high school wrestling. They do in college. He would have racked some up, but right now he's got to get out in the bottom, and Gronke is working, got a crossface in hard.
Very long on top, and really got a good control, upper body. Looks like he's moving for a far cradle.
Looks like he almost
hit it, lost it.
Lost the head
he's
first.
All over. Chris Welch,
that's going to
Sean
cost Welch a warning right there on the bottom. Of course, there's not. I don't know what Welch can do. He's going to get hit for one in a second.
No, I'm surprised the stalling was that quick, because remember just the other period, Gronke was down below with both legs in for the whole period, and they get called.
Welch has got to hope he can get out of bounds and get back to a neutral, not a neutral position, but a position where he's got some control. Right now he does have no control, and that's going to give him an opportunity, I think. He better get away from Gronke.
We're seeing Gronke just as tough on top with the legs as Welch was.
Right.
Which, if we get into a stalemate like this, it's 0-0 overtime, then criteria with no points scored is going to get pretty involved to find out who's going to win the match.
I bet you we have some points scored before this period ends. Gronke is
going out on a limb, are you, Dale?
Yeah.
All right. Could be. Let's see.
I'm looking for an escape.
Pretty close.
Oh, or an illegal.
All over.
What was it?
I think it was out of bounds, and he's just showing that Gronke still has a top position. Green on top.
Interesting. 52 seconds. He tells Gronke to get on.
You have a lot of pressure, Dale, on both wrestlers, but you also have a lot of pressure on Ed Fioravanti, the head official.
No leg yet. He breaks him down. Gronke breaks him down, looking for something to get some back points. Tied up the arm, but nothing. 40 seconds.
He's got that one arm again. He's riding the crotch for that far cradle. Or picked Welch up for a turn, but ran out of real estate, out of bounds.
These guys are evenly matched. This is with no points scored, it's still a great match to watch. Gronke once again on top out of Burn Hills. Sean Welch on the bottom, no score. Interesting strategy. Welch tries a switch.
Gronke there to counter. Great step over. Almost hit it.
It's got him in
now
trouble.
Now Gronke's got that leg in, and if he can elevate and get some type of head control, and he lost it, it's very close. He's so long. He's really pushing that half Nelson.
No. What great wrestling. Welch did a super job. Pulled the neck, switch, step over. And I'm wrong.
It's the first time in a lot of years, Dale. We'll forgive you.
Zip, zip, right. Thanks, John. Nothing at the end of regulation. And that is interesting. Wrestlers will take a short break.
That's one of the most exciting 0-0 matches I've seen in a long time.
You wouldn't think that was much, but we're going to get a look at this on a replay, John. Gronke on top, and he just looked like he had him on the edge.
Just at both ends. He's tying up the legs. He's moving on. Now he's stepping over. He'll come up to the top. Arm control, doing everything he has to stop Welch from getting his 1 point, take this match into overtime. Got that leg scoop. Now he's working for the half Nelson.
Watch what Welch
Very
does.
close here. Very close.
Watch what Welch does. Watch him get out to the side and pull his neck up. Right there.
Oh, he just took his arm and threw it forward.
And then came back up. Boy, he is a tough kid. Both guys really have done a good job.
Again, trying that switch. They were very close to the time running out.
We're going to go to 1 minute. We got 2 1-minute overtime periods. 3. Check that, right. 3 1-minute overtime periods. And there's a whole section of criteria if they're tied at the end of this. We'll see. Right now they go right back at it. 3 1-minute periods in the overtime, and first one to score is Welch. He gets a takedown. He's going to throw the leg.
All familiar from the second period.
Three 1-minute periods. This is the first.
Now he's throwing that double leg in again.
He is really working the head of Gronke.
Gronke trying to get leg control, trying to get those legs out. We're not elevating like he should, but
stalemate. So the first points, which is one of the criteria somewhere in that list, and a takedown is scored by Welch. Gronke up, an escape in the offing. Double leg, he gets right down on the leg. Welch does of Gronke, and Gronke tries to sit through it. Nothing.
That's right, Dale. You know, you mentioned the criteria. That's number 9 on the list. And we want to say thanks to Bill Doran for keeping us abreast of the changes last year as well as this year on the rules.
We're going to go right back at it. We'll get into the criteria if we need to, but it is a definitive yet somewhat complicated list. Right now, Gronke is on top, not in score. He's down 2-0 in overtime to Welch. Welch took him down. You can see Gronke's superior height as he takes Welch to the mat. As far as stamina, I'm not sure who's got what left. But there's, as you said, John, there's nothing left, right? In terms of
at this point,
can't save yourself.
Stamina isn't there. It's all adrenaline right now, and it depends on who runs out first. Take a look. They're both tired, but they both want to win.
38 seconds left. It's been a great bout, as you said, one of the most exciting 0-0 regulation bouts we've seen. Right now, it's no longer 0-0. It's 2-0 in favor of Sean Welch out of Section 4. On the bottom there, man attempting a switch, stepped over by Gronke.
Obviously, Welch's first move from the bottom, successful throughout the year, has been a switch. He hasn't been able to execute it properly today, or at least in this match.
We're going to give a point to stalling point.
Stalling point to Gronke.
Stalling can hurt you in the...
Okay, we're going to have to check this list one more time.
Right now, as they get set, we're talking about this list. There is a, if at the end of the overtime they're still tied, there's a referee's criteria list which determines who wins, and there's different valuations for things like takedowns, stalling points. If it's not tied, it doesn't make any difference. Right now it isn't, but Welch was hit with a stalling point. He gave up one, and that's the man who's down by 1 point right there, Doug Gronke. Stand up by Welch. Gronke throws a leg.
Shouldn't get the 2 points.
Going to get 1
point. He will get the 1 point.
That's it. 3-1. That's the end of the second period.
I got to believe Gronke's going to want to be up in the third period here for a takedown. He doesn't want to be down. He will start the third period up. And for a single, switches off to a double in deep. He's got the long leg.
2! That's it, 3-3. What a match. 42 seconds left, and they're tied with 42 seconds left in this bout.
So just to throw a wrench in here if it does remain a tie.
We'll be right back with the result of this match right after this.
It's not Madison Square Garden. And the team that plays here isn't the New York Knicks. They're the Sullivan Tigers, a high school basketball team in upstate New York. And in a way, their games are even more important than the ones in the NBA. Because in them, the players learn something about each other and ultimately about themselves. So no matter what the final score, they come out on top for having played the game. When you support the kinds of activities in your high school that help turn kids into adults, everybody wins.
Peer pressure, it's all around us. There's no doubt about it. Peer pressure does exist, but luckily it can be a positive thing as well as a negative thing. If you're concerned about the role alcohol and drugs are playing in your friends' lives, don't just tell them about what it is, show them. Set a good example. Eat and exercise right, and support alcohol and drug-free parties. Always invite your friends to go with you, and work real hard to see that they have a great time at these events. If you feel alcohol or drugs are too much even for you to handle with your friends, bring other people in it who know what they're talking about. Show your friends you care by helping them through this horrible mess. There's no better way to show them that you care.
All right, 6-3, Welch on top of Gronke, and Gronke getting desperate. You can see the clock winding down. It's been a great bout in overtime. Welch, Sean Welch out of Waverly, got to be considered the underdog. What a bout.
Super finish.
In overtime, 6'3", Sean Welch out of Section 4, New York State champ, 119 pounds. What about, John? 0-0 at the end of regulation.
Yeah.
Just a super comeback, and
totally surprised. I'm kind of I'm looking at Rule 6 on here. Wrestler with a penalty, the opponent would I think Gronke would have won the match. I'm not sure because
he let him up, gave up a point, but time waits for no man, John. We got to move on to 26. One of the most interesting guys, Troy Bazakis out of Pine Bush, Section 9, 35-0, and his opponent will be a familiar face. It's Chad Gronke, the brother, whose brother just lost 119-pound Doug. So we've got the Gronke family back against Troy Bazakis, who is somewhat of a legend here. He's the first 8th grader to ever actually participate and place in the state tournament, and he has been, that's Section 2, that's Gronke right there, but Bazakis was the most outstanding wrestler in 1987, and he got defeated the last 2 years, never made it to the championship again. Well, he made the championship but didn't win.
The championship last year didn't win. It was third in 88. That's what happens. I'll tell you, the pressure on these kids doesn't really show the talent. Pressure gets to them. Sometimes they close up.
State champ in 86 and 87 is Troy Bazakis. On the left from Section 9, Chad Gronke out of Burnt Hills is a junior, and he is up against a tough one. His brother, Doug Gronke, just lost 119-pound state championship to Sean Welch. So the twins, that's got to be something. The parents got to be very proud of those two kids. Right now, shrugged by and a muscle move by Bazakis.
Did have control enough to get the 2 points.
And they go out of bounds. It's 2-0 in favor of Bazakis. Bazakis, a person might be considered for the most outstanding wrestler going into this. I don't know if we could have a more outstanding bout than we had before, but Bazakis working on Chad Gronke.
Just looking back, Dale, Bazakis had a tough semifinal match.
Well, they had Gronke there, started to crank him, didn't get anything. Yeah, Bazakis, I think he won 7-6 at one point.
That's right, quarterfinal, 7-6. Gronke in the semifinals won 10-9.
We get a caution. Last year, Pizakis lost 5-4 in overtime to Andy Antonucci out of Hilton High at 119 pounds. And, you know, I remember when he lost last year, very classy loser. I mean, that was a lot of pressure on that kid, and he shook hands and acted like a classy kid that he is, and he's back again. State champ, as we said, in 86 and 87, started out at 91 pounds, so he's a force to be reckoned with. Throws a half. Oh, boy, he got that in smoothly, didn't he?
Real nice. I think Rocky was confident he was coming out of bounds. Didn't get out of bounds quick enough.
That's a pin in a minute, 28 seconds. Troy Pizakis at 126 pounds after a couple of years of frustration is back and does something extremely unusual. Pins in the final and 128 over Chad Gronke. 126 pound state champ. He's been there before.
Take a look at it again, Dale. He's got an arm bar, and he's going to come up to a half. Gets that half in, but he really runs it up tight, real tight. Again, I think Rocky thought he was close to being out of bounds, and now he's pinned.
Right on the edge. And an unusual happening, as we said, we don't usually see that or don't often see that in the state meet, but Troy Pizakis is a man who's been there before. Look at him. See, that's what I liked about the kid last year when he lost. He helps up Gronke and tells him, hey, I know what it's like. I've been there. I lost last year 5-4 in overtime, and I wasn't supposed to. Move up to 132. Tom Shiflett out of Section 6, Sweet Home High School near Amherst, near Buffalo. He's 38-0. Interesting for college, he said it's based on what he does tonight. His opponent, Brandon McNaught, out of Section 4, Walton High School, 33-2. Both guys seniors. No real favor here. I think these guys evenly matched. To go back to that Pizakis for a second, I think he felt he had something to prove, and I guess he did it with a pin in 128.
Yeah, it's been a long dry spell for him, making it to the championship without a win. And for a two champion, great way to finish his career.
132 so far. John, I would say it's the most action we've had in a state meet in a long time. Sometimes they're cautious. Right now they're going at it here. Shiflett from 6. Also maybe a little bit of trouble. McNaught not able to follow through. No score. These guys are really pushing each other around. Evenly matched. 32-pounder, Shiflett out of Sweet Home High School in Amherst, and Brandon McNaught out of Walton in Walton, New York.
Tying up the upper body and then tried to scoot in on a almost cross-ankle pick. Trying to use his leverage a little bit to his advantage. Not much taller than McNaught.
Right after him. Oh, nice move by Shiflett.
Shiflett took advantage of a shot.
That's a 5-pointer.
We're going to check that
They
as
only gave
4.
him 2. Yeah, I thought he got the 3. It'll give him a 4-point move then. Takedown and 2 back points.
Great defensive points, though. To counter the double leg shot. Little hip toss for 4 points.
While we're mentioning it, Jim Wild is the official. Reggie Jones is assistant in this.
Shiflett right now, I think, is too high.
He is a little high, isn't he? Yeah,
left.
he's only stalemate.
I think lucky for him, the official called for a stalemate.
So McNaught in a little bit of trouble. Down 4-0, was on his back and got back up.
Caught up with a good stand-up, no hand control, cost him. Amazes me how many times these guys stand up without the hand control just to expel some energy and not get any points.
We've got McNaughton will be on top, and Shiflett on the bottom. McNaughton down by 4.
Back up again, no hand control there. Then he tries to roll through. comes up with a single leg. No points have changed yet, but I think Shiflett will come up with at least one on this, even if they go out of bounds.
Took the leg high. He's got it. Did he go out of bounds? He did.
Totally shocked by that call. I think we're going to have a conference here by the official.
No. So it will not change. Thought he had an escape. So did you, John. I also did. There, now he's got one. .126 left in the second period. 5-0. Tom Shiflett on top of Brendan McNaught. And lots of action from 91 all the way up to this bout. They have been nonstop.
So they're doing a lot of setting up, snap and go. It's kind of hard to describe when you're looking at it, but he's setting McNaught up by using his the way McNaught is stepping in and pushing forward.
Right, he uses his weight to slide him by.
He hit him with that in the first period with that takedown.
Right.
Doing a great job countering.
He'll get set, get the shoelace tied of Shiflett. Under a minute, 50 seconds. Lots of upper body.
Nice
Ooh,
quick
Shiflett duck under.
No control yet. He should get the 1 or 2 point takedown. Awful lot of duck unders tonight already.
Lots of movement. Going to give up one there, I believe. Yes, gives up an escape to McNaught. 7-1. That's McNaught's first point.
McNaught tried a little duck under of his own, didn't get it.
15 seconds left. Second period, 132-pound New York State Championships. Tom Shiflett on top by the score of 7-1 over Brandon McNaught. Shiflett from Section 6, McNaught from Section 4. Last period, last 2 minutes, as they decide who's up, who's down. Oh, the injury time. Well, they're going to take a little timeout. McNaught going to take an injury time.
Might be a bloody nose, not sure.
Get a little water in there too, a little Gatorade.
132, prepared for awards presentation coming up.
Set to go now. Brandon McNaught, I should say, on the bottom is down by 6 points, 7-1. He's got a lot of work to do. Tries to switch, gets
Very
it.
nice switch.
2. Nice switch, 7-3. Still got to do some turning here, and that's exactly what he's trying to do, John.
And he's in a good position for it, but he doesn't come up with any points. Doesn't have a leg in, but now he has a 1-on-1, 2-on-1. Step to the side, trying to elevate, loses the 2-on-1.
Shiflett trying to control the hands, not doing much on the bottom. Brandon McNaught trying to break him down. Really, the onus is on him because Shiflett can take his time. Yeah, I thought that would come. There's a warning. Well, that's coming to Shiflett on the bottom.
Not surprising. He's taking his time. I'm sure he'll get going off the bottom in a second.
He's got a lot of time left, actually. He's got to move. He don't want to give up many points.
He is getting that hand control.
Good hand, good, nice turn in. Nothing yet, but he's in a much better position than he was.
And if he's learned anything from the first period, the official's not going to give him a close call. It's got to be executed properly and in plain sight. He's still on the down position.
McNaught is in control, but this is a time waster. He's run 25 seconds off the clock, holding on to that arm.
That's right.
In a semi-neutral. Oh, he gets one right there. Okay. So Shiflett picks up one, John. 8-3 now. And you see the clock as it goes down to 15 seconds.
Canucks either got to shrug them by or start over fresh, try to get the 2 to a 5-point move.
Oh, nice move by McNaught, but that's going to just about do it.
A bit too late.
So the champion at 132 pounds, Tom Shiflett, Section 6 out of Sweet Home High School, your New York State champion. And we'll be right back with a 138-pound bout right after this.
Just a reminder that kids who participate in high school sports tend to go a little farther than those who don't.
One of the interesting things about amateur wrestling is the fact that as you look at the championship matches, the bouts, you're going to find out that a lot of these kids wrestle in the summer and they wrestle year-round. And one of the reasons why is USA Wrestling, we're with Mike Smallage, the New York State chairman of that organization. Mike, maybe you could tell us a little bit about USA Wrestling.
Yes, these guys that get this far are very devoted, and it takes a lot of work for them. They wrestle about 10 months out of the year in USA, in the state and every state, and they can join USA Wrestling through their sections. USA Wrestling, of course, is a national governing body for the Olympic process.
What about age groups? What kind of kids do you get involved?
Well, really all ages. It starts with the 8 and under division and goes all the way up through open, which are boys out of high school, wrestling in college and whatnot.
Interesting. There's a lot of different styles. John and I have talked a little bit about the different styles. We mentioned there's some international flavor. What kind of styles does your organization sponsor? What do you have in your USA Wrestling?
Well, the younger boys, of course, like we're seeing here tonight, is freestyle, or excuse me, folk style. Mm-hmm. And the younger boys do wrestle that mostly. And as they get on, we get into the freestyle and Greco-Roman through the year. What about time period? You mentioned when you wrestle. We mentioned a lot of summers. Is that a big time for you? The summertime is yes. We try not to conflict with the high school, so our season is just starting next week, and they'll run through probably August, competing early in the March and April months to have local qualifiers to get into state championships and on to regional championships to national events.
If a young wrestler was interested in this, how would they go about becoming a member?
Well, the easiest way is that they can join a club that may be in their section, or go to a USA sanctioned tournament in their area. Every section, like the high school sections, has a USA chairman, and they're responsible for getting out to the tournaments and the clubs and signing people up.
What about the tournaments? You mentioned the tournaments. What type of tournaments do you have?
Well, the local tournaments, of course, in each section are run, and qualifiers to get into state championships. From states, you can qualify to go to a regional event, which is 15 states drawn together on the East Coast. And from there, you can go on to nationals representing a state team.
Have you noticed a big increase in the number of kids participating in this type of activity, USA Wrestling?
Yes, we've been very fortunate in New York. We're probably 6th in the United States and overall members. Last year, we ran about 5,700, and that is on the increase.
Well, Mike, thanks for talking with us. You guys do a great job. If you're interested in USA Wrestling, you know who to contact. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
All right. Are you interested in reconditioning your present wrestling mat? Coach's Corner offers factory reconditioning, which will repair, repaint, and guarantee your finished mat. Our mat reconditioning is the finest in the industry. We will pick up your mat and deliver it back to you according to your time schedule. If your present mat is getting old and is in need of reconditioning, to give it back that protective quality, call Sonny Greenlaw at Coach's Corner and ask him to look over your mat and give you a quote. The phone number, 1-800-336-MATS. Contact Sonny Greenlaw at Coach's Corner. Once again, we'd like to remind you that tonight's championship wrestling final is sponsored in part by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Locals 1922 and 1430. Our thanks for enabling us to bring this outstanding wrestling tournament to the sports fans of New York State. Thanks a lot, guys. And we'll be right back with more wrestling from the Onondaga County War Memorial.
Green now. Green's in control now. He's all right now.
Hi, I'm Tim Green of the Atlanta Falcons. I grew up here too. Sometimes it's tough. Who do you listen to? Parents, teachers, your friends? I can tell you this, no matter what the problem, drugs are not the answer. And they're not for fun. Don't let anyone tell you they are. You can't win with drugs.
We're back. The Onondaga County War Memorial getting set for the 138-pound bout. Kenny Porter out of Section 5, John Spiegelman out of Section 1, Suffern, New York. And while we wait for them to get set, you get a good look at the crowd here at the Onondaga County War Memorial. Right now, Section 5 in the lead, 169.5 points to 167 for Section 4, Section 11 in third, and Section 3 in fourth place. So we've got a very, very tight match between those two sections. Kenny Porter is Section 5. You get a good look at him, 138-pounder. And his opponent, John Spiegelman out of Section 1 in Suffern. Both are juniors and just started.
Kenny Porter in on a single leg, trying to lift it to the ceiling here at the Onondaga County War Memorial.
2 points. First scored by Porter out of Section 5. Section 5, as they came into this, had 4 guys in the finals. And right now, Kenny Porter on top of John Spiegelman out of Suffern.
He's awful high with those legs in, Dale.
Awful high, and you get a good shot of it there. He's going to lose the head right there, and now he gets a little higher as Spiegelman tries to go out the back, but controlled by Porter for the time being anyway. 2-0 the lead. Oh.
Awful close here to being back points or a 2-point reversal.
Porter looked in a lot of trouble. I saw somebody pin themselves like that once, but
it's happened.
It looks like he's going to give up some points. He's going to come out the back, and he's going to get 2. And if Porter doesn't watch, he's going to give up some back points. Maybe he can now.
He's got to hurry because the official will also call the stalemate here.
That's right. Spiegelman did not look. I think Porter wrestles high like that on.
Looks pretty comfortable.
Yeah, he
really
does.
It's not his first trip there. He's also working with what Spiegelman is giving him, which isn't a lot. He's got that one arm locked in with a leg. Now almost a figure 4.
He did have it look like that figure 4. The official checking, Reggie Jones.
Yeah, now he's cranking on the head. He pulled the arm up through, and I think he's going to get some back points. Very close.
Reggie Jones checking. Oh no, another pin?
Real close.
No, that's it.
Saved by the buzzer.
They're gonna. You see a kid come out there with a towel. The reason why is the noise level gets so intense here that sometimes the officials cannot hear the buzzer, and they give him a swat with that towel.
And I don't think
he didn't feel it. No, he didn't.
He was too involved in watching the shoulders.
There's the figure
right
4 with
checking.
the legs. Yep.
Cranking over. Now he'll reach down and get a better grip on the head, not giving a choke across the neck, but right around the chin.
And there's Reggie Jones checking, and there's the kid with the towel. And watch what happens if we watch. He's tapped him.
He's tapped him already. The kid's walked away.
Yeah, and now they call it. So it was not a pin, but it is 5 points. And Kenny Porter from Section 5 is on top. And Porter will be down for the second period with a 5-point lead, and Spiegelman took a brief timeout there to get his mouth checked.
Porter, quick stand up, not hand control. The hand control wasn't there, but he did make up for it. Turned in, got his 1 point.
I mentioned again, both these guys are juniors, both young men, and Kenny Porter looks pretty smooth there from Section 5.
Slick moves in that first period. Again in the second period, he gets a stand-up 1-point escape.
Yeah, he never looks, well, at this point, he never looks bothered or hurried. He just keeps like he's going to work.
Well, when you score 6 points like that, sometimes you can look comfortable. He's got to be careful here.
Yeah,
he's got both arms tied up.
Yeah, he's got to get a wide base.
Spiegelman does. You see some type of trip or a throw from this position. Trying to sweep the leg. I can hear the coach cough in the corner. But Porter beat him to it. I don't know if it's going to cost him yet.
Looked like a good base by Porter. Look at that with the leg and back, knee back there. Whizzer by Spiegelman.
That's right. Porter now in no danger of getting that throw. Being on the receiving end of a throw anyways. Comes up, great defensive wrestling. Now Porter with a 2-point takedown.
Well, Porter looked like he was in a little bit of trouble, but weathered the storm of John Spiegelman, and it came up with 2 more points to make it 8-0. 30 seconds left in this second period. 138-pound bout. And look at him trying to claw that leg in there, John.
Trying to get it in.
Give me that.
He threw it from out of bounds. He wanted it in so bad. Now he's got to watch it. He's got the leg in, but Spiegelman also has the head. Going to be very close to pinning himself. Now Spiegelman is in a world of trouble.
He's got his arm out. I don't think he can get pinned, but he gave up some points. But Porter must have had a little rush there too. Little rush of adrenaline. What are we going to get? That's it, the period. I didn't even hear it end either. So you know why that official has to be hit with a towel. 10-0. Yet Porter had his back flat for a second as he rolled through and then came up with a cradle.
Del Porter still didn't look like he was in too much trouble. That expression never left his face.
I know it.
Looked like he had 4 aces in his hands just waiting for the dealer to call. He's high with the leg again.
You know what his coach said? Get back and stay smart.
Well,
and
he's
he
in
didn't.
trouble now because Spiegelman's got a cradle work in here.
Right.
He's got the 2 points, and he may get some back points if he can scoop it up.
Oh,
and he does scoop it up.
Whoa! Back again.
Porter fighting with every ounce of strength he has left, and he's still not out of the woods yet.
A lot of time.
Spiegelman with that arm lock out front.
He's got 2-on-1, and boy, he's really way out. He's going to crank it and really jar him.
He's reaching all the way around to Porter's back, trying to pull him over on his back.
He's going for the cradle again.
And he's too high. He's got to watch himself now.
Step over by Porter.
Stepped over. I can't see the hand control. Spiegelman still on top.
Almost a Navy position for Porter if he... No, we got the ankle. Porter would like to get his head out of there.
Certainly would. I think he's going to get the 2 points.
Whoa. It was 10-5. Now it's 12-5, but Porter was in real trouble. John Spiegelman had him in a world of trouble twice. Woo, what a bout. Get a good look at Reggie Jones, the official. Porter looked a little more worried then when he got a little bit. 12-5, 7-point lead for Porter. 23 seconds left in the bout, but
bad news for Porter started when he got high with that leg, and he's got to watch it again. Spiegelman wants to win just as badly.
Half Nelson by Porter. So Kenny Porter, a junior from Section 5, defeats John Spiegelman 12-5, and that's your New York State champion, 138 pounds. Kenny Porter defeats John Spiegelman in a great, interesting, exciting bout, John.
These matches just keep getting better and better.
We have not had a bad one, and that man just added another exciting one to the list of the 1990 New York State Championships. John, take a look at this.
Okay, we got Spiegelman on top. He's got that cradle.
This was earlier, and he held him back. Look at Porter got caught. You could see him.
That's right. Now Spiegelman just crunches Porter back to his back. And now it's very close to a pin. Reggie Jones trying to get a better angle.
Interesting bout. We move right on, 145 pounds. Steve Taylor out of Section 5, 145 pounds, 34-0, a senior. And his opponent will be from Niagara Falls, Section 6, Kareem Johnson, 37-0. And now this should be an interesting matchup. We've got Taylor, third place in 89 in the States at 145, and Kareem Johnson, a gold winner from Empire State Games. And 145 pounds is usually a good place for interesting matches.
We start getting to those weights, Dale, where
a lot of strength.
A lot of strength comes into play, and the finesse kind of gets left on the bench. Not all the time, but you get more grunting and groaning from this point on.
Kareem Johnson showing some good strength as he picks up 2 points as he gets on. Steve Taylor, another Section 5. Taylor out of Brockport High School. Johnson out of Niagara Falls. Score 2-1. Johnson ahead. Section 6, he's only a junior. Taylor's a senior. Taylor in trouble momentarily, but then he gets out. I told you this was going to be interesting.
Close side of bounds. He has to get the 1 point.
He gets it. 4-2 in favor of Kareem Johnson. Johnson, very strong.
Taylor's got to be careful. He shot in just a moment ago and came up with -2 points on the exchange.
He just butted, or Kareem Johnson got butted right in the face. And they called a timeout immediately. Kareem Johnson on Niagara Falls High School. Maybe you'll see it as he shoots in. He put his head down, and you saw it right there. He took a shot right on the nose.
Looked like Johnson got hit by Taylor's shoulder when he shot in.
And they don't allow him to leave the mat. Freddie Brown is your official. If you need a copy of the United New York State Wrestling Championships, this match, contact Reed Hawk, State Wrestling Chairman, 4246 East Genesee Street in DeWitt. And there you got the phone numbers. Back to 145 pounds. Steve Taylor from Brockport, Section 5 against Kareem Johnson, Section 6. Johnson on top 4-2. 45 seconds left in the first period.
Johnson must be extremely strong. Taylor trying to shoot in. Johnson just scoots him right up.
Pushes him right out of the way, pushes him to the side.
Going to have to change a little technique here. He does, he shoots
low.
in lower.
That's the way to go, right?
And now he's back up where he doesn't want to be, upper body.
A good point, John. If I were wrestling Kareem Johnson, I would go downstairs. I'd go down to the legs and hope that I could stay there. But you're right, he fought his way back up and got Taylor back up upper body.
Again, Taylor shoots in, but he doesn't finish up on the move with a single or double leg. Now Johnson again with
double
the
underhooks.
double underhooks. That's how he scored his points earlier in the first period.
Taylor aggressive, going after the legs. Goes upstairs, and you see what happens? That's the strength we talked about.
If he doesn't finish his move, he's going to be in trouble. Gave up 2 earlier. He may give up more later.
That's just going to about end this period. First period, long actually for Seams. First period. Fred Brown, the official, says Kareem Johnson will be down and Steve Taylor up. Score of 4-2 in favor of the man on the bottom, Kareem Johnson.
Trying to stand up, fighting for hand control now.
Porter sunk down, or excuse me, Taylor.
Looks like he's trying a Navy ride. Taylor trying just about everything to keep him from going out of bounds, try to get some back points.
Kareem Johnson's on the bottom. Doesn't look real comfortable when he's on the bottom.
No, again, these wrestlers are all mostly undefeated, a couple losses. They're usually up and out from this position. So when you get tied up, it's a whole new experience for them, like we alluded to earlier. Some aren't comfortable, and they show it.
Well, Johnson's 37-0, and he does not look comfortable when he's being ridden. And right there, Taylor took him out of bounds. Sean Brooking is our assistant official, as I mentioned. Fred Brown, the head man. You see Fred Brown right there. He goes right for the leg, and Taylor takes Johnson down to the mat. Score has not changed. It's 4-2.
Taylor working on a one-on-one. Now he's going through the crotch. He's got to bring Johnson back in order to get any back points.
I think Kareem Johnson would rather be on his feet, takedown position again.
So he definitely wants to get out. 56 seconds left in the second period.
Check his move, John, from the bottom.
See, he comes up great, but there's no hand control.
Yeah, he comes up, he brings his legs up, but he doesn't do anything with the hands.
That's why he's staying down on the bottom. You got to have that hand control, ever so important.
Taylor knows that and goes right for the leg.
Every time.
Yep.
I think we have a lot of support for Section 5 in the audience.
Yeah. They have gone out of bounds 4 or 5 times in the same spot.
Same move. Kareem Johnson up from the bottom. Hips come up real fast, but he leaves his hands down, no control. Maybe he'll learn.
And he's up 4-2 in the score.
No hand control. Taylor again down to the legs for the 4th or 5th time this period.
Once again, they head for the same spot. And if he goes out of bounds, he tries a whizzer. Doesn't work, out of bounds.
I'm not quite sure what the call can be here.
Well, they're not going to give a call except they're going to start the injury clock. I think Johnson's up by 2, and he is down momentarily. I think he's a little frustrated, a little tired.
I think he's a lot tired. He's a power wrestler, and we've seen this in the past. You get a little bit tired later on in the second and third period. But he's up 4-2. He doesn't mind this little cat and mouse game.
Right.
Coming up, getting driven to the out of bounds, eat up that clock.
Well, once again, we want to thank the IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, for sponsoring this event, Locals 1922 and 1430. We really appreciate your support. Right now, we're back to action as Steve Taylor on top of Kareem Johnson, but is down by the score of 4-2. Of course, Johnson's not really helping himself by doing the same move, but on the other hand, that's what he wants. That's what he wanted. He's going to get one right there.
That's right, Dale. He finally got in a position where he could use his muscle, take Taylor out, get his 1 point. And he did it with just a handful of seconds left.
And that's going to be the end of the second period. And strategy-wise, it's interesting. Now, Kareem Johnson will be on top, Taylor on the bottom. Johnson got that 4-2 lead and tried to coast. Now he just got one on an escape. Oh, gives up one quickly. Back to where he perhaps would like to be, 5-3.
He's in the driver's seat without a doubt.
Taylor going right after him.
Taylor should not get tied up like he is now. Should just shoot from afar if he has any chance of taking Johnson down.
Got to go back to doing what he did before, staying outside, shooting on the legs, and getting back out again.
There's no sense in going against Kareem Johnson's strength, which is upper body, getting tied up.
(5-3). Taylor, thought he saw an opening.
Closed up in a hurry. I think he hit a brick wall.
And Johnson is going to be warned for stalling.
That's a good call. He's been backing up. Yeah, you got to stay in the center. Can't hear the discussion between Kareem Johnson
Fred
and
Brown.
Fred Brown. There he is with those double underhooks.
He's got the hooks. That's what he likes. He likes to take them way up with those hooks, then go down. Taylor learned to stay away from him. He got those hooks. He fought his way out. They're going to give a point. They got to hit him with a point. Well,
back to those double underhooks. That's a good way to coast here, too. You can tie up quite a few seconds.
Yeah.
And have 1 point going off the mat.
I thought that would happen. They gave him a point. Now it's 5-4. I keep saying Porter. Taylor is a takedown away from a lead. The first lead he'll have, and Kareem Johnson has got.
Just heard he has 20 seconds left on the injury time, Dale, which is very important. If he is hurt and the time expires, then he's going to lose the match.
Well, you see in the replay, he was backing up, and that cost him. All right, back to live action.
Taylor back in on a single leg.
Taylor, as we said, a takedown away from a lead.
And Johnson looking for that out of bounds. Now he's trying for a knee pick. Not quite sure.
Oh, Taylor almost lost it. Lost his balance. He's trying to get a scoop in.
Johnson doing a great job keeping his weight on him. Close out of bounds. He is out of bounds.
That was a good call. There was no stalling. He just went out of bounds.
Great job. Both guys working hard. 20 seconds left.
He's only got a couple seconds left on his injury time. Johnson's going to take it. 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
2. Okay, that's it.
That's it. 20 seconds left. And he's going to go to those underhooks, try to jack Taylor up.
Taylor can't get underneath them. 7 seconds. This could be right down to the wire. Kareem Johnson has got to be careful he doesn't back up. He didn't.
Taylor shot in, heads collided. Kareem Johnson.
That's it. That's going to be overtime. He gave him 1 point. Fred Brown, just before the whistle, gave him 1 point for stalling. So Kareem Johnson is now got to go back out.
Definitely a judgment call, but Fred is conferring. Doesn't seem to be any argument on it. Here we are here. Taylor's shooting in. Shooting again.
And there was the call.
Now it comes down, Dale, to the wrestler with the greatest endurance.
Well, we got a chance. Let's remind you, if your gymnasium or wrestling room is in need of wall mat protection to avoid injuries from wall contact, call Coach's Corner for a quote on various types of wall protection. We will manufacture and install the best wall protection to fit your needs. We offer practical protection at practical prices. For information or an estimate, call us at 1-800-336-MATS. duck to Sonny Greenlaw and tell him Dalen John sent you.
That's right.
All right, 3 1-minute periods after a 1-minute rest. And Kareem Johnson out of Niagara Falls has got his work cut out for him because he lost the momentum and had a couple of stalling points.
He lost the momentum, Dale, and if there's wrestling gods out there, they were in Steve Taylor's favor right at the buzzer. There's a second sooner, and I don't think there would have been a call for stalling.
3 1-minute periods. And Taylor looks tired. Excuse me. Kareem Johnson looks tired. Taylor is even keeled throughout the entire match. Kareem Johnson going at him.
Both guys shooting tough here in the first couple seconds.
Boy, Johnson is a strong kid. You want to stay away from that upper body if you're Steve Taylor.
Taylor's got to be confused. You shoot in, and if you don't finish it, you're in trouble.
Nice
and
move.
If you're too high, you're in trouble.
Nice move by Johnson. Nice move by Johnson.
It's that 2 points.
7-5.
Ever so important. Remember, the matches in the overtime are 1-minute periods.
He had a real burst there, John, and boy, he caught Taylor going by.
If he's tired, he's not really showing it.
He doesn't want to be on the bottom, or doesn't want to let Taylor be on the bottom.
Not that long.
7-6, he gives him an escape. So once again, Taylor's a takedown away from a lead. He shoots low. Taylor shoots low.
He's got that single leg, but now he respects Johnson's upper body. Stays away. Johnson with the underhook. That's where he likes to be.
5 seconds. 5 seconds. Look at the upper body strength on Kareem Johnson. It's done him well, but he's a bit tired, and he's in an overtime match against Steve Taylor. So Kareem Johnson from Section 6 will be down. Taylor gets on. 1 minute left in this second overtime period.
Johnson again stood up, Dale, left his hands down and cost him. Taylor's got a head lever, arm lever, but now it's back up. Taylor with a single leg. He picks the knee beautifully, but it doesn't get him any points, and he doesn't get out.
Hey, boy, he was searching for a Nelson, wasn't he? He
There was a lot of
threw
movement.
that from center field, hoping to catch a head in there.
And with his strength, all he needed was to get a firm hold on Taylor, and he could have thrown him.
.34 seconds left, second overtime period. 1 more minute of overtime. And we have had, this is our second overtime, great bouts.
Johnson again leaving the hands down on the mat.
Reaching back, gets that powerful leg up.
Now
7-6.
Taylor with a 2-on-1 to the side. Surprised Dale, he didn't try a tilt to that side. He stepped over, went for that crotch ride. He's got to have something in mind, but he's not being able to hit it.
Probably hoping for a stalling call. Yes, there it is. He just got 2 points. It's 1-1-2 and then disqualification.
Taylor again, the wrestling gods with him. 2 points, puts him in the lead for the first time. 8-7.
Kareem Johnson, only a junior, has now got to put Steve Taylor on his back or let him up and take him down.
And from the first period, Taylor is good on the bottom, does get out easy. Gives him a 2-point lead. Johnson for the takedown. He's going to try to jack Taylor up again with those underhooks. Going to get stalling against Taylor.
That's a warning. No points. Great bout. 145-pound champion. Oh, Johnson got a leg. Taylor got caught with a leg down. 2 points. 9-9. Out of bounds. Whoa. Whoa. I saw that Taylor had his leg hanging out there, and Kareem Johnson just picked it up when he saw it. And just before they went out of bounds, he got the 2 points.
Taylor looked at Fred Brown. The official says, "Am I out of bounds?"
Right.
No.
Did I make it? No.
Taylor with the hand control. Johnson ramping him up. He does get the 1 point.
And he's going to get warned or going to give up now?
Shouldn't get 1 point. He's fighting for the escape.
Right. He was fighting for an escape.
If you're already escaped and you're running backwards, I'm sure they're going to slap you with a penalty. But trying to get away for the 1, I don't believe they'll get you.
Oh, Kareem Johnson almost.
Very close to 2 points. Now Taylor reverses it. He's holding off. 5 seconds.
That's it.
Incredible comeback.
Almost unbelievable. Steve Taylor, who benefited from a call at the whistle in regulation, sent it into overtime, and by a score of 10-9, he is going to defeat junior Kareem Johnson, who, what can you say, it was just whoever scored last before that buzzer went off.
Exactly. Heart goes out to both wrestlers. They did a super job. Unfortunately, one person has to lose.
Steve Taylor, 145-pound champ from Section 5 Rockport High School. And we'll be right back with 155-pound action right after this.
National studies show that students who participate in high school activities, like music, sports, and drama, not only have better grades and attendance, they develop the character to handle adversity, the grace to accept defeat, and the self-confidence to start over.
My name is David Gerlitz, and I would like to apologize for my part in the selling and promoting of cigarettes. For 6 years, I was an advertising model for cigarettes. I was used to glamorize cigarette smoking, and it's a lie. If I've been influential in any way in starting you smoking, whether you're 12 or 20, please accept my apology. I no longer want to be an ad model for cigarettes. I want to be a role model for my children and other people's children. Please don't smoke.
Do you drive or plan to someday? If so, there are 2 facts you really should know. Fact 1, people should worry about new drivers. 16 to 20-year-olds only make up 7% of the New York State driving population, but they're involved in 18% of all fatal accidents. Fact 2, people should worry, period. 50% of all New York State drivers will be involved in at least one alcohol-related accident. Those are bad odds. 1 out of every 2. Will it be me or you?
We're back, 155-pound bout. Mike Murtha out of Section 11, Bellport High School, out of Brookhaven, New York. His opponent out of Section 5, Brian Gray out of Wellsville High School from Section 5. Both guys seniors. 155 pound, just started. No points. Oh, nice move by Gray.
Okay, real quick to capitalize on Murtha's shot with his head down.
2-1. Oh, nice arm drag.
And picked that ankle as he was going by.
Ooh. 2 points for Murtha. We talk about action. It's been nonstop. The fans here are just one bout after another. 3-2 in favor of the man on top, Mike Murtha. from section 11.
Murthy tried to strap in a cradle, near side cradle. Wasn't anything there.
People still buzzing about that 145-pound bout with Johnson and Taylor. And now when these guys come out and they go right at it, this has been, without a doubt, as far as action, the best state meet I've seen in a long time, John.
Absolutely, Dal. I can't remember where every bout up until this point was just a nail-biter. Just a really great effort by both wrestlers.
These guys started out the same way the 45-pounders left off, and that's
great
Murtha.
Move off the bottom by Gray.
Yep. And then there's an escape. 3-3. Score is tied. Murtha from section 11 in the, well, it says section 11 on the front. Knee brace on the left knee. Brian Gray from section 5 with a head control, tries to get, ooh.
Looks like when
close.
Murtha shoots to the right side, his right side, or excuse me, left side, he keeps his head down. And both times Gray has been able to counter him.
Officials Dana Chardentier and Fred Brown. Chardentier is the head official, Brown the assistant. 10 seconds left in this first period, 155-pound bout, 3-3. Mike Murtha and Brian Gray.
Looks like Brian Gray has been working out with Kareem Johnson. They're both with those underhooks.
Yeah.
End of the first period.
Flip the color. Goes to green. And Gray takes down. Gray 34-5 coming into this. Murtha 37-1. Coaches work hard here too. You just got a shot of the coach working on a stick of gum. Gray takes Murtha down. Gets his 2.
Boy, didn't give up on that move heading to the out of bounds.
No.
Got enough control to get the 2 points.
6-3 now. Brian Gray, as we said, both seniors. Lets him up, basically let him up.
Traitel didn't look like he wanted to get close to him on top at all.
6-4 as Murtha goes with his head down, and Gray's got underhooks.
Well, you know,
half of one anyway.
Yeah, you know, reading the credits for these guys, you know, Brian Gray is gold in the Empire State Games in Greco-Roman last summer. Doesn't surprise me he's going the upper body.
And they say no points, but you saw that snap by Brian Gray.
Kind of shoots in half-heartedly, comes up what he really wants, these double underhooks.
He wants that, those. He's got one in. Get you thinking about when the other one's coming, then he breaks back, get a better position.
You really got to throw your offense off. If you're not used to wrestling these Greco guys, you're getting jacked up to the ceiling every time you shoot in.
Murtha trying to scoop.
I think he's got 2 points. Murtha thought he was out of bounds, gave up a little bit. You can't stop till you hear the whistle.
8-4. Mike Murtha on the bottom from section 11, upset with the call. But that's what the assistant is there for, and there was no discussion. We've seen him have discussions. He tries to switch. Gray counters that.
Post out of bounds, he's got to have to come in toward the center to get his 1 point. If they go out of bounds, it's a questionable call.
Mike Murtha out of Bellport High School, Brookhaven. Brian Gray out of Wellsville. And Gray goes down for the ankle, controls the leg. Murtha turns in. You'll get something here, John.
Does not have the 2 points yet, but I think he'll get 1.
Yep. So an escape by Murtha brings it to 8-5. A little touch and go here by Gray. Changes takedown tactics a little bit, John.
That's right. He's kind of getting on his scooter and riding a little bit here.
All right, back to a hook. Oh, shrugged him by.
Again, Murtha at the buzzer near the out of bounds is just giving up.
We're going to talk about it briefly. Fred Brown agrees. Two minutes left. This is it in this 155-pound bout. Mike Murtha, Section 11, down by 5, 10-5. He really has wrestled well. Gray hasn't really dominated him. He just hasn't been able to do anything offensively.
Tell you, get 2 moves at the out of bounds, 4 points. He's only down by a point if he didn't make those mental mistakes.
Gray tries to take him up, loses an escape, does, yes. Murtha's down only by 4, lots of time left. Gray going for those hooks in that throw.
And he's got it jacked
somewhere
up again, not knowing if he's going to either throw or just coast. I mean, he is up by 4 points, a lot of time left.
I was looking at his eyes. I think he was going to throw him.
He did have that look.
Didn't he? Like one more step, and I got you right where I want you.
We haven't seen a good launch yet.
Right now, Gray's going to take a little time, start the injury clock. Well, it might be a bloody nose, so there won't be a start of the injury clock. Now, Mike Murtha's gotten a little upset with some of the calls, but you can't let that get to you. I've got to believe that you've got to come back and just forget about it.
That's right. I don't think it's staying with him long. He's frustrated. A lot of pressure on him. Here we're looking at the out of bounds again.
Watch, that's where Gray takes him by.
That's right. Murtha shoots under. His head's been down the entire match. So I think this is going to be the 1 point.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
This is one of the happier moments for Murtha at the out of bounds.
He got an escape out of that. He goes right after Gray. But Gray sprawls, comes right back and gets a leg.
Great, good counter move. He's just reacting to every shot that Murtha's throwing right now. Got to keep his head up when he shoots underneath. Still down by 4 points.
He goes with those hooks way up high. And of course, the thing is, you can't do much when you're the hookie.
No, not at all. When you get hooked, the best thing to do is get out of there before you do get launched. Not a lot of offense you can throw from that position.
Down to under a minute. So Gray now just being able to do what he wants with those hooks and control the tempo, John.
That's right, Dale. He's putting on a dancing lesson here. He's getting the hooks in and doing a cha-cha-cha. He doesn't really want to shoot. Not quite sure what happened there. I think the
butted him. Well, by mistake, I think he just hit him in the head with his head, and he said wanted a little time to get his brain unscrambled. 45 seconds
left. Maybe it was a little hair pull, but
yeah,
happened so quick.
Murtha can't see. He's got something in his eye. I think he said this has been a tough bout for both of these guys. And now this is where it's been costly.
The out of bounds has been tough on Murtha all night. He'd be better off to get back.
Yeah, he's got to get back out. There's a mistake. We hoped he could have gotten that a little earlier. Mike Murtha threw a nice move out of bounds. Ryan Gray's 10 seconds away, 8 seconds away. That's going to be it. Desperation move by Murtha, but Brian Gray out of Section 5. 14-7. New York State champ, 155 pounds. Ryan Gray out of Wellsville High School, Section 5. And we move right up to 167. Emilio Collins out of Tappan Zee High School, a senior, Section 1, 37-0. And this is supposed to be a great match because this guy, Seamus Lyman, from Section 3 out of Watertown, 35-0, is looking to repeat as a state champ. He was state champ last year, and he's back again this year, and recognized as one of the premier wrestlers in New York State. But a lot of people, John, said this guy Collins could give him a real tussle.
That's right. You know, at 37-0, he's no slouch at all. He's highly touted by a lot of the coaches, and they think it's going to be very even.
They said he's real strong, Emilio Collins. Not that Lyman isn't, but that he is really strong. 167 pounds, two tremendously talented wrestlers. Seamus Lyman out of Watertown. And last year he won over J.J. Stanbro at 155 pounds, and Stanbro was a prohibitive favorite at that point last year at the state meet. Had 188 career wins and lost to that man right there, Seamus Lyman, 3-1. And they're just looking at Lyman.
Shoulders, knees, and ankles, you know.
They all start to sneak up on you, don't they?
Especially at this time of the season, everything hurts a little bit. You just live with it.
Seamus Lyman starting out very low against Emilio Collins. See that low crouch? I don't think he wants him underneath him. Emilio, a little taller, I think, than Seamus Lyman. Looks
a little taller, and again, with the strength factor, I don't think Lyman wants to be upper body with him. Go against Collins' strength. He'd like to shoot in a low single or double.
Yeah, you can see the height difference there as they break. Most of the people who saw all the action when they started here Friday night said this is going to be a good one, and you know it would have to be because the other ones have been great.
Yeah, this is going to be so close, Dale, that it probably will seem boring because you just have two great athletes out there and they respect each other so much.
First period. Down to 40 seconds left in this first period. No score. Seamus Lyman, Section 3. Emilio Collins from Section 1. Evenly matched. Collins a little taller and very strong kid. Oh, he got Lyman momentarily.
Shot in there, great. He's deep, but he's not.
Got
two. 2 points. Criteria was if Lyman was putting his weight on both hands, it was technically a takedown.
2-0. Seamus Lyman down to Emilio Collins, 167 pounds. Both guys seniors. Collins was third in the States in 1989, so he knows, he's got experience. One quick escape by Lyman, and I think he wants to stay low like he did before, because he let Collins get in underneath him and gave up a takedown.
Now we know why he was crouched down so low.
Yep.
Emilio Collins got in a hurry for that double leg.
And you know, he didn't even really get in that deep, John, but he was so strong. He only had him by the thigh. He didn't even have him by the knee, which is where you'd really like it, but he was still able to get the 2 points. And
showed his strength on that move.
He sure did. Period ended right there. 2-1 is the score. Collins ahead. Seamus Lyman on the bottom. See what he does from that position.
So he got up in a hurry in the first period.
Collins looked like a leg man.
Well, he's awful tall. I'd be surprised if he didn't throw the legs in, but
he's way out in front now. He's got to do something. Tries to scoop.
Does scoop right. Doesn't use the leg or the hand between the leg for any type of tilt.
Good control by Collins down low.
Working those ankles real well. He's going to have to work up, which he does.
Minute 30 left, second period.
That hand control. Lyman is not getting the hand control. He's getting up and getting beat to the first move.
Got that legs crossed. He's got to ride, although he's got to do something on the top.
Lyman's going to have to get to his base, start all over again. Collins just riding out to the side. He's got a head lever. And Lyman with a whizzer.
Look at him get that.
But look,
Whoa.
look at how long he is, Dale.
Yes.
He's all the way behind him.
Did he make a position? Did he make an escape?
No, he didn't.
Oh, okay.
Collins,
He just said who was on top. I'm
Collins
sorry.
had his hand wrapped all the way around his back. If he could have moved the hand to the middle of the back, it may have warranted a 1-point escape. Still had control. He's on top.
He was just indicating who was on top there. I thought I
Right.
saw his hand go up. I thought, but 54 seconds left in a. Did you watch him trying to get hand control, John, as you mentioned?
Now he went for the hand control and didn't stand up. He can't seem to put the two together. He's going to have to watch that
head. He's going to get one here in a second.
Real close.
There he is. 1, 2, 2. Lyman right back to even. Emilio Collins has done a great job, but they're going to head out of bounds. No. Still going for the takedown. Both guys. Lyman did have one close match, I think, on the semis?
He had it in the semis, Dale, and Collins had a close quarterfinal. Both guys scooted through with a 1-point victory.
Warning now for Collins for stalling.
Nice leg trip by Lyman, but he doesn't come up with any points.
That's it. Second period, 2-2.
This is for all the marbles.
Let's
I
see
believe
where
Collins is down.
officials. Sean Brocking, I neglected to mention Jim Wild. Sean Brocking, that's the man sitting down there, getting the wrestlers set. We're looking at coaches for Emilio Collins. No points, had him, boy. Had him right up there, didn't you, John?
Very close, just a fraction of a second away from a 2-point exposure. That was a little quicker. I think he learned something from the first row through.
Collins tries to roll through. Lyman trying to tilt him.
You know, I'm totally surprised. I thought the first period or second period, Collins would throw in the legs. Now here's a guy that could stand up and get out very easily. He's trying roll throughs.
We didn't see him use legs at all.
Not at all. Now he's on the bottom. I thought for sure he'd stand right up. He had 4 roll throughs.
Interesting to see what now Seamus Lyman's going to do. The score is tied 2-2. We got a minute 25 left in the bout. Oh, same thing again, huh?
That roll through, and he's lucky again he didn't get stuck. All he has to be held for 2 seconds, and it's points.
He's got to watch himself on stall. Look at the arm on that kid. Woo!
Lyman's got his hands
tired.
He's trying to run Collins, and I'll be surprised if he does.
He gave him one.
Exactly. He's just too strong of a kid to run up over his shoulders like that.
Oh, Lyman down by 1 with
Lyman's
less than
in
a
trouble,
minute.
and he may be down by a lot more here. He's in trouble giving up 2.
5-2. What an upset in the making. 40 seconds left. 40 seconds now. 5-3. Lyman, 35 seconds. He's got to get a takedown to tie it up. Oh.
Too early for a desperation
Too early for
move.
desperation.
He tried that headlock, and we've seen it happen in the past so frequently. You don't come up on top that often.
Warning, 1 point. Oh, now he's a takedown away from a win, John.
That's right. It changes the whole strategy here. He can keep pushing and tie it, or he can...
Oh! He got caught! He got caught! 7-4, Seamus Lyman got caught, and that's going to cost him the state championship. 7-4 to Emilio Collins. Another great bout. Seamus Lyman not able to repeat as state champion. And he got caught, John.
Yeah, Dale, you know, he just didn't finish a move out there, not taking anything away from Collins. But here taking a look at it, he slides out. His feet were totally off the ground, trying to spin around. He wasn't in position to do so.
Excellent. We move up to 177. Steve Thompson out of Section 11, 34-2 out of Ward Melville High School. His opponent will be Todd Webb from Section 3, who lost to Seamus Lyman during the regular season for his only loss. He's 34-1, and should be an interesting matchup. Every one has been exciting. Seamus Lyman not able to repeat, but they move right along. Action right away as Steve Thompson takes the leg of Todd Webb way up in the air, but doesn't get anything.
Todd Webb very quick to counter. Came back with almost a takedown of his own.
Both guys going after each other. Both guys senior. Webb might be considered a little bit of a surprise here. Although Seamus Lyman down at 67, and he went up to 77 and beat Webb for his only loss. So he did well through this tournament. Right now, he's up against a very tough opponent, Steve Thompson from Ward Melville. Setauket is his hometown. Webb out of Baldwinsville. Right now, no score, under a minute left, first period. Webb had a leg caught. Things seem to have calmed down, John.
Yeah, right after that first flurry, it's just kind of... Now Webb has got a cradle, which the people from Baldwinsville are very infamous of throwing. He doesn't have complete control over it, but I think they did give him the 2-point takedown.
Gave him a takedown, not going to get any back points.
Now Webb's got to back off and get the head in the rib section, or
still forcing
walk Thompson right over, right. But if he can hook that leg on the bottom and scoop it up to the ceiling, he's have more control, but it doesn't seem to be able to do it.
Thompson keeping the hand on the leg to keep him from getting turned over.
Head in the ribs. Now he can go either way with that, Dale.
Yeah.
He can take him up over backwards, which is less control,
now he's in trouble.
It's just as effective. You get some back points. Going to have two anyways.
Two back points. So that was a 4-point move by Todd Webb.
Boy, he held on to that cradle nice. Didn't give up. It's a heck of a ride when you have a wrestler locked up like that.
So Todd Webb ahead 4-0 over Steve Thompson. Dan Scanlon, the official, along with Norm Thomas.
Not a real big move off the bottom by Todd Webb. And
we got Thompson, a leg man here, right?
It seems like he's very content to sit in this crab ride position. Got the legs in there elevating nice. You got to be careful if you're...
nice move. I thought he was going to tilt him. He did.
Very close.
Got a 1 count.
That's where you can tell Thompson is very comfortable here.
Yep.
Using the legs good, trying to just get an arm.
Sitting back, throwing a half.
Could be in trouble. Could be in trouble.
Gives up 2 there quickly, and then elevates 6-0. Webb ahead.
Webb up on top. Looks like he's going into the crotch for a one-on-one. Seen a lot of guys tonight go for this, but I'm not seeing anybody finish it, so can't tell if it's just a rider or going for a pin.
Down to 50 seconds. You get a good look there at Section 11. Steve Thompson down by a number, but that'll help him out as he gets a reversal. 6-2, scores his first points with 40 seconds left in the second period.
So another one of many switches we've seen tonight.
Yeah, a lot of basic wrestling tonight. Not a lot of legs. You're seeing it here now as he tries to Got him in on Webb. He's a little high.
Little high. Now he's scooting in the other leg. Gonna arches nicely, breaks Webb down. And he's got him stretched out real nice now.
Not scoring a lot of points, though, is he? Was that stalemate that he called?
It called a stalemate, but you know Thompson's got to be concerned on top. When you're stretching somebody out, you better be working on the head. If not, they'll call you for stalling.
And he's down by 4 points. He can be patient. There's a lot of time left. You got a whole nother period, but switch move by Webb. He gets it and did the same move before. He just comes out of the switch and drives him back, picks up 2.
Get 2 back point as well.
Well, he got 2 backs, then that makes it 10.
Let up.
10-2.
Last 5 seconds were nightmares for Steve Thompson. You're gonna see it right here, Dale. He's on top. He gets high.
Picked the ankle, John.
Picked it up perfectly. Thompson fell to his back. Webb covered him up. Said, I'll take 4 points. Thank you very much.
It's the second time both guys have done that. I mean, actually, Thompson tried it, and Webb did it earlier for 2. Didn't get any backs, but he got backs there. 10-2.
Tries that switch again. Comes up empty. With that wrist right out to the side. Now he's going back to the cradle.
Dangerous. Well, I guess when you're up by 8, you can.
Yeah, he's not getting in too much trouble. If he loses a point, he'll be happy with it. This is where he's got to be careful.
Right. He's going to give up 2. You certainly don't want to get to your back. A lot of time left.
And again, here comes Thompson to his strong suit. He's in the crab position trying to get some elevators working here.
Unfortunately, it takes a lot of time to work that, doesn't it, John, sometimes?
It does from the bottom when the wrestler is flat out.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in the crab position, it helps you a lot more. Only takes you a second to turn from there. But the thing is, what he has to think now, he's got to score 2 or 3, come back to your base and score 2 or 3 more without getting too sloppy.
Yeah, and he's rolling Webb around.
There's
Webb
the elevator. It's perfect.
Nothing there.
Only a 1 count.
Webb got a switch on.
He's going to come up on top once again.
He switched and then he stepped over when Webb tried to counter, when Thompson tried to counter, and that gives him a 12-4 lead. 40 seconds left.
Thompson seems to be just about a step away from completing each move, and it's cost him dearly every time.
Neither one of these guys, at least from what we've seen, a finisher last year in this, so both guys seniors. But Webb doing a good job taking advantage of mistakes by Steve Thompson and building a lead 12-4 with 37 seconds left.
Now he's running that cradle up again. I'll tell you, he's not riding on that lead.
No, he's not. He's not taking it easy, is he?
He's going to do or die by the sword here. This is great wrestling. It's a great example for some of the kids watching. Don't give up. Just keep wrestling. Go for the pin.
Not a bad ride either, though, really.
Not bad either.
Warning on the bottom, but that becomes a somewhat moot point as Todd Webb will win the state championship at 177 pounds, 12-4 over Steve Thompson.
The 1990 177-pound New York State champion.
Todd Webb
Section 3.
from Section 3, New York State champion, 177 pounds. He's got to get back and shake the hands of his opponent, Stevie Thompson, and they do it at the middle. Move up to the big guys. Kevin Brinkworth out of Section 6, Williamsville South, a junior, 215 pounds, 28-0. Mike Bucci's opponent out of Section 9 from Red Hook High School, Red Hook, New York, 24-0. And Brinkworth was 5th in the 89 states. And should be a pretty good match.
As well as all the other matches were tonight.
Yeah. 2 well-built 215-pounders, and Brinkworth right after Bucci. As we said, Brinkworth only a junior. Potentially dangerous.
Tell when you get guys this size, every move is potentially dangerous, including us. We're only a few feet off the mat.
Yeah, we haven't had anybody cruise close to the table yet. Both guys undefeated. Shot by Brinkworth, countered by Bucci. He's got the ankle. Oh,
quick,
Brinkworth out.
A couple of quick 215-pounders. Surprised we're seeing some single legs shot from afar, not just a little trip or a reach down, grab the leg. These guys are shooting from like lightweights.
If I had to say one thing, I said we've seen speed through all the weights tonight, from 91 all the way up to 215 pounds. Shot, Bucci.
This is a little bit more heavyweight-ish for you.
Yeah. Minute now left in period one.
Brinkworth trying to ride the head. Little snap and go behind, but he just doesn't have it. Bucci too quick. Sitting down there like a cat, just coiled up, ready to spring.
Until the official says it's a stalemate.
Good call. I'll tell you, the official's done a great job tonight. A lot of tough positions they've been in to make a good call. They've all done a great job.
Mike Giagos and Bill Stark, your officials for this bout. And a little attempt to elevate and stack up Mike Bucci by Kevin Brinkworth, but no points have been scored yet in this bout. 215 pounds. Another stalemate. It'll be interesting to see about most outstanding wrestler.
That's right. You take a look back at the matches. We've had so many good ones, and I don't know Collins with the upset because he really wasn't favored to win. Who knows?
And of course, you've got Bazakis back, right?
Looked great. Name one that didn't look good.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's the judges have to choose this year's recipient instead of you and I.
Yeah. Hard pressed, but we've still got another bout left after this. We've still got a lot of time left in this one as we wind down to the end of the first period. No score. Kevin Brinkworth from Section 6 and Mike Bucci from Section 9. Brinkworth out of Williamsville South High School and Mike Bucci out of Red Hook High School. Pretty fast move by Bucci from the bottom.
He doesn't complete it. Brinkworth got a body lock on him here. Let's see which lock was stronger.
Got one.
Neutral. It's like
neutral.
Bucci's going to get the 1 point. That it is.
So Brinkworth gives up one. Shot by Bucci with a heavily bandaged right wrist.
He'll try to a fireman's carry. Just couldn't get underneath Brinkworth deep enough to throw it.
Once again, you're seeing some speed exhibited by Kevin Brinkworth. Not a lot of scoring, 1-0. 1:08 left in this second period.
A little bit of dancing going on here.
Lots of times you'll see that a lot of high schools don't have guys who weigh 215 pounds, so they get a lot of their matches, I think, at tournaments and stuff like that because it's very difficult. Even right here in Section 3, oftentimes we'll see teams without 215 pounders.
215 and the 250.
Right, that's very seldom wrestled during a
both these wrestlers have win record's 28-0, 24-0 instead of the 30, high 30s that we've seen in the lighter weights.
.25 seconds left, period 2. Kevin Brinkworth from Section 6, Mike Bucci from 9. Bucci ahead 1-0. Bucci in the blue. Snap down by Brinkworth.
A lot of power in those moves. The last two moves.
You know, Brinkworth, I noticed he's been looking at his knee before. He's got just a pad on it, but I think he strained it. And I think that was perhaps hurt either during this tournament or previously as he grimaced. While we got a chance, we'd like to thank the IBEW, International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, for sponsoring tonight's New York State Championships. Local 1922 and 1430. Once again, we thank the nice people in the IBEW. We appreciate your patronage. Right now, back to action. That's going to be, you know, no wonder I can't hear that. It's not very loud. I just heard that kind of bleep out. You see the youngster come out and hit him with a towel. Right now, we're into the last period. 2 minutes left in a slow match that started out quickly, but 215 pounds, Mike Bucci on top, 1-0.
Right, Brinkworth can tie it up here with an escape. He gets up, he doesn't have the hand control. Bucci has to bring him down, he does in time.
Out of bounds. Official said close. Brinkworth kind of favoring that left knee a little bit. Bucci takes his time getting on. Lots of time for Brinkworth to do something. He's got 1:45 left. Really having trouble getting the hands of Bucci. But you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to break the hands off so he can get away, but Bucci just, this could end up 1-0.
A lot of time left, but you're right. He's doing a great job. He's holding on. He's got his hands locked. He's trying to take him to the mat, but I think the officials are talking right now that he's got to bring him down to the mat quicker. Up again this time. He gets a little better hand control. Does break through.
There, that's it. 1-1 now. 1:20 left. Both guys don't want to give up that move. Brinkworth shoots, Bucci counters. They go out of bounds, off onto the covered floor, off the mat. .105 in this 215-pound bout, New York State Championships. Section 6 represented by Kevin Brinkworth, Mike Bucci representing 9, and that's Bucci in the blue, made the move. It might get caught.
Awful close.
Yeah, Brinkworth's got the leg.
Got him up.
Trip. 2.
Got to give him 2 points.
Yes. Did he give him 2?
Yes, he did.
Yep. Okay, that makes it 3-1 then. Brinkworth's got 48 seconds. And he'll want to give up the 1 and not give up the 2.
Brinkworth drops down on that leg.
Oh,
beautiful move, beautiful move.
Nothing yet.
I don't know if he's going to come out with any points. He should get the 1.
Red's still in control. 24. Of course, he'll
got to give him the 1 point
yeah.
now.
Now it's 3-2.
Again, too early for that desperation move. see who's going to come up on top of this. Looks like he's got Peterson, and he does. In order to get that Peterson, though, he should be given some back points.
Brinkworth trying desperately to get out. He slipped.
Oh, great finish there. Oh! And he scores another 2 points.
Kevin Brinkworth at the last minute got caught by Mike Bucci, and your 215-pound state champ, Mike Bucci from Section 9. A lot of action at the end, very exciting. Mike Bucci pulls it out.
Section chairman.
And we move up 250 pounds, but we'll be right back after these messages.
It's not the Broadway stage, not even off-Broadway. And chances are, what gets performed here won't become the longest-running hit show of all time. This is the River Ridge High School Auditorium in Sutton, Colorado. But to the 12 members of the drama club, the performances are just as difficult and the audience reaction just as critical as anything done anywhere. Because what's at stake for the students is not applause or playing to a packed house, but discovering something special inside, something that stays with them long after the show closes. When you support the kinds of activities in your high school that help turn kids into adults, everyone takes a bow.
I want you to know that I admire young people who work hard to develop their bodies naturally. I pity those that take shortcuts like steroids. Steroids are bad. So why take something that can really mess with your mind as well as your body? Steroid use is a major health risk because it's impossible to use them without suffering some major side effects. Athletes who take them often lose more than they win, sometimes even their lives.
Maybe you recognize me. For 6 years, I hung around your neighborhood, even your own home. I was a drug pusher for a drug that causes the most suffering of all, nicotine. I was an ad model for cigarettes. My name is David Gerlitz, and my face appeared everywhere. Posters, billboards, magazine ads. I was used by a cigarette company to glamorize smoking, and it's a lie. I no longer want to be an ad model for cigarettes. I want to be a role model for my children and other people's children.
Back 250 pounds. Kerry Huggard out of Section 8 and Bruce Manley out of Section 4, 250 pounds. Manley from Ithaca, Huggard from Freeport High School. The really big guys. And Manley out. Well-built 250 pounder, as is Kerry Huggard. Both guys strong, agile. Huggard 26-0 and Manley 28-4-1. Officials, Joe Rizzo and Dave Adams, the assistant in this. Little bit of height advantage to Section 4's Bruce Manley. Ithaca High School, you said Huggard out of Freeport High School, Long Island.
Huggard trying to tie up the arms.
You see a little more action in this bout than we have seen in some past 250-pound bouts, John.
Yeah, both these guys seem to be pretty quick. Hubbard again still coming in with that upper body. Underhook to this side. Now he goes
nice
into a
move.
Nice, good quickness. Good counter by Manley, though. Manley in on a single of his own.
Good balance by Huggard.
That's right. Now Manley bringing Hubbard down.
Oh!
Man, he's going to get 2 for it.
Nice roll through.
Just muscled right through that.
Boy, oh boy, I thought Huggard was in trouble. He got the 2 against him, but he just kept right on going. Nice job by Huggard, and a nice job by Manley. 2-0, Manley in charge.
Again, up there high with that single leg. Hubbard just can't keep his balance, goes down to his base.
Manley, the height advantage from Ithaca High School. Of course, you look at Manley, he doesn't look like he's 250. He's not, you can certainly be under.
Right, I don't think he's maxing out. He might be about 230, somewhere in there. Working an armbar right now.
Yep.
Got it in there pretty deep. He's also got it in his own jersey.
Clock's going to, I was going to say, Clock's going to stop it before he can do much of anything with the bar. So 2-0
All place
in the second
finishers.
period.
From 138 to 50.
Red defers, and that will give the choice to Section 8's Kerry Huggard, and he's going to take down.
138 to 250. Prepare for award ceremony.
Yeah, he's going to try to do a little better than he did in the first period. Get off the bottom. First move,
Pretty quick move, yeah.
So again, Dale, that hand control, which is so important.
Standing switch.
We watched it all night long. Just tires you out to keep standing up, no hand control, get knocked down. Especially when you have somebody as heavy as Bruce Manley on top of you. Riding with that one-on-one and the crotch ride. Now he chops the elbow off on the other side. Gonna try to stack him.
Huggard on the bottom, not able to do much. And of course, Manley's got to try for something on top, and he is. But you said it's a lot of weight both ways to move.
Sure. There's stalling right there.
Yeah.
Looks like Hugger's headgear is around his eyes, and he's more concerned about that than trying to get out.
Wow. Manley really took him down there. You're right. I think he's going to let him adjust his headgear.
Exactly. Right in midair, he was reaching up for his headgear, and boy, he got lifted to the ceiling right on his butt.
Manley, a lot of strength.
Deceiving strength because he doesn't look overpowering.
No,
he's not a muscular 250 pounder, but he's definitely solid.
On the other hand, Huggard very quick to get up. He's got a good move from the bottom.
He just needs that hand control to get out. He'd have his point by now.
Score 2-0 in favor of Bruce Manley.
Let's see if he can reach up, grab those hands on his way up. Nope. Got knocked down once again. See, this is where it's real tough. You get that arm bar, and then you have Manley's weight up on top of you. And now he's got the other wrist. He's going to try to roll him toward his head. Look at the power with those legs.
He's got awfully strong legs, got big legs. Look at those. And he is just driving with them. He switches now, goes to the other side, throw the half maybe.
Not scoring any points, but boy, he's just tiring Hubbard right out.
Of course, he's working himself out too.
That's right.
Down to 25 seconds, second period. Almost over.
Now he steps across the other side. That's Manley with that one-on-one.
He's going to give a point. And now a little bit of trouble for Manley.
But the time has run out. He does get a 1 point stalling.
Yeah, he did get a point.
Called against Hubbard.
Third period just underway. 3-0 lead now for Bruce Manley. See if he decides to take it easy, because you will see some big moves from these 250-pounders with that upper body. You have to be careful. You can end up on your back in an instant. And I'm sure that Huggard knows how to do that.
Majority of the moves from these heavyweights are multi-numbered moves. I mean, you get 4 points just as soon as you get 2 points, usually to the back.
Huggard just got a warning called on Manley by Manley not really wrestling.
Yeah, he's stepping back. You definitely have the feeling he wants to coast. 3 points is not coasting lead for anybody. Like you say, especially heavyweights. I think he's going to get hit with a stalling call real quick here.
Yep.
There it is, 1 point.
Now he's just a takedown away from tying it up. I would have been I think I might have done a little bit more to keep from getting called for stalling.
I'm surprised too, because all he had to do is like shoot in a half attempt on the leg.
And even if he gave up the 2, he was up by 1, and you know, he would have been in a decent position to stall out on the bottom.
Right, but we haven't seen Huggard really tough on top either, for turns, that is. He's going to get hit again real quick.
He's just pushing him away. He's going to get it right there. You're right. 1. Now it's 3-2.
Now that takedown is a championship. If he gets hit again, he still loses 2 points.
That's right.
He's going to have to wrestle.
He's going to have to take him down. Oh, Manley losing a little bit of the momentum here. He's got 20 seconds left, and he can't take a chance of getting called for stalling. But he sure can. Whoa, he's going to work some time off.
Boy, he picked a leg, and
whoa, boy.
It's going to be awful close, but I think he's going to hold on for the win.
Boy, Huggard had him in a lot of trouble, but Bruce Manley hung on to win 3-2. The 250-pound champ, Bruce Manley out of Ithaca in Section 4. Great match, as all of them were. These bouts have been tremendous. And we'll be right back with more from the Onondaga County War Memorial right after this.
I worked hard for my Olympic medal, and I'd hate to lose it, especially over something as stupid as steroids. Taking steroids pumps people up for a while, makes their muscles look bigger, but they don't increase aerobic power or one's capacity for exercise in a workout. Experts aren't even sure they actually make you stronger. So why take something that can actually damage you, both physically and mentally? Steroids can cause women to go bald, develop deep voices, and grow facial hair. It can cause men to have a lower sperm count and enlarged breasts. It can even cause youngsters to stop growing before they should. Anyone that takes steroids runs the risk of irreparable liver, kidney, and heart damage, as well as a bad case of acne. It also affects the mind by potentially developing symptoms like violent mood swings, uncontrollable aggression, and extreme depression, what ex-takers call the inner rage. Steroid use is a major health risk because it's impossible to use them without suffering some of the side effects. Athletes who take them often lose more than they win. My opponent in the '84 Olympic finals not only lost the match, but he was stripped of his medal for steroid use. Don't lose your pride or your life.
It's going to be tough to beat. Yeah, that is. That was real. As they file out of the War Memorial, I think one thing that everyone has been talking about was just how fantastic these state championships were this year, John Janiak.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been following the state championship since 1969. It's obviously the best tournament I've ever seen.
there was action from 91 to 250 pounds, and everybody thought it was great entertainment.
Oh, that's right. People got their money's worth. Some great champions did well today, and there was an upset, too.
You know, that's one of the things you want to talk about. You could highlight a lot of different things, but I want to talk about the upset first, where Seamus Lyman, who was really kind of the favorite coming in, lost 7-4 to Emilio Collins, and that was one of the things that I think people were talking about as this tournament progressed. That was one of the key matches, and it was quite an upset.
That's right. It was the only upset, and only by our standards, because Emilio was also 37-0. He was a good wrestler, and he proved it tonight.
Seamus Lyman, very class guy, walking around shaking hands afterwards. One of the other things we want to mention, of course, is a little bit of vindication perhaps for Troy Bazakis, who was most outstanding wrestler in this meet. Then last year ran into some problems, really came back and I thought did a really nice job, and he pinned Chad Gronke in a minute and 28 seconds. I think gave him some vindication.
That's right, Dale. He did a super job tonight. Like you said, 2 years ago he was third, last year second. He proved himself to be a winner going out number one in the state and OW.
And one of the things we mentioned here is you're going to see Troy Bazakis out of Pine Bush High School in Pine Bush, New York, is the fact that there aren't very many pins in the New York State Wrestling Championships, and what you're going to see here is really kind of impressive, especially with Chad Gronke coming in 32-3, and Bazakis just was all over him, and I think relentless in his quest to really get some measure back from what happened last year.
And he proved it at the end, really forcing that half Nelson over. And he's in command now, and it's just a second away.
1 minute and 28 seconds is what it took, and Troy Bazakis back on top, named second time most outstanding wrestler of this meet, and just a real nice kid. And one of the things that I think they're going to mention about this state championship was the way Troy Bazakis come back. So right now I'd have to say it was a great tournament, John, and wonderful working with you again.
My pleasure. It was a great tournament. I'm sure the fans had a great time.
One thing I want to mention, Section 5 won the team championship. So until next year, this is Dale Drypolcher for John Janiak. So long.